Well, good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Hope you are having a great weekend. I've got a very exciting live stream set up tonight. I see some of the kids I work with in the comments. I don't know if you're going to find this exciting, but I bet it's kind of neat to see your teacher on the internet. But hang in there, students, and I'll let you know when it's time for bed. Okay? All right. So I just let everyone know we've got the Master of Shine coming in tonight from Boise, Idaho. It's Levi Gates. And to help me host this live stream, I've brought in my good friend Mike. And I've also recruited my Canadian cohort, Bucky, who's tuning in from, I think it's Lethbridge. It's either Lethbridge or Medicine Hat, Brooks, Claire's Home, or Nanton. I can't quite remember. And to be honest, I don't care. He's from Alberta, and he's here tonight. So who we got there? We got Cat Guy 64. Good to see you. OE3 dude. I don't know if I've seen you on the live streams, but welcome. We got Keith. We got Humberto. Humberto, you went through a hurricane not too long ago, and we've got a lot of viewers who are dealing with Hurricane Ian. Is that right, Ian? So I wish everybody well who's dealing with those that weather event. I can't imagine what that's like. So we also have Carlos tuning in from Argentina. Isn't this amazing? Isn't the internet just unbelievable? So why don't I bring in Mike? And you know what? While I'm at it, I'm going to bring Alex in too. How are you guys doing tonight?
What's going on?
Doing very well.
How's everybody doing?
I'm excited to bring in a little bit of balance, a couple Canadians, a couple Americans, simplify things,
Yeah.
Got to be equal here.
So you got your background there. You got the Diet Pepsi logo.
Yep.
I wonder if viewers actually will catch that, but some will, some won't.
Yeah.
We'll have to dig a little deeper into the Diet Pepsi. I actually picked one up on the way home, but in case I get a little tired of that, I do have my standby.
Oh, dude, I love me a Coke.
It's the weekend, right? You got to live it up.
Got to splurge.
So we got Derek Riley in the comments, gentlemen. We got Sue chiming in from New Jersey.
What's up, Sue? How you doing?
She's an Audi driver.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big Audi driver. She got a Q3.
Nice.
All right, so Alex.
Yes.
Besides just being awesome, I got you here because you've got real strong ties to the RAD company and the people that work there and make that such a wonderful company. Have you been doing any research?
A little bit, off and on. I mean, a lot of the research has been a long time coming, just kind of knowledge being built up, but always excited to learn something new. And I'm sure our guest tonight's going to be dropping some stuff that I may have never even heard about.
And I want you throughout the night just to hit us up with any facts that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we've got 24 there. Viewers. Why don't we wait till we get to the 25 mark and we'll bring Levi in?
Hey, what's it going to take to get Levi and likes and have him get phoned on their next live?
Oh, that's a number I don't think is attainable.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's as
I missed the number. What number?
On one of the TRC lives, there was 250 likes to get Dan and Anthony phoned.
Oh, okay.
That number was hit.
But
luckily, Levi was not in town. So he avoided that.
He was on a plane.
Beautiful experience. Yeah, so he's very lucky. Mm-hmm. And then I'll tell you, though, once he returned, the TRC faithful demanded a foaming of the Master of Shine himself. And there's a lot of deflection. And... changing the subject, dropping new products. I think that was just kind of coincidence with the new products, but who knows? Could have been on purpose.
We should do that on the live stream, though.
What's that?
We should do that on this live to carry it to their live.
Yeah, we'll count up the likes at the end of it, and we'll see where we're at. See what it'll take.
Heck yeah.
We're lucky there's still more people coming in here. We've got Texas DD, Neil White. Got Sean Gullicher from Saskatoon.
Got 11 likes right now, and
got Neil White.
Let's make it. Let's make it 50 likes. I know
what happens.
That's gonna make a tough number.
Those are rookie numbers.
We got to make it tough, because to get him to get foamed, it's going to be a tough number, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Who's getting foamed?
Levi.
He can't. You can't make that decision for him.
Yes, we can.
He has to consent, buddy.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what they do in California, but Idaho, they need consent for getting foamed.
Oh, my attack dog is barking at somebody. Quiet down, buddy. Good boy. All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring in Levi Gates,
Yes,
otherwise known as the Master of Shine. Welcome him, everybody.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
But he ain't nothing. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, right. I haven't been listening at all, so just hanging out here, enjoying a frosty Diet Pepsi on a perfect Saturday evening.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, we're so happy you could join us, Levi. I guess you do you mind telling people what's going on in your household, like you were telling
COVID.
us?
But I got this.
No
I got
good.
the sweet Italian version. You know, the COVID it's a kind of a little spicy. It's nice, but no, it's been good. I recently got back from Auto Mechanica. RAD Company was there for our very first year, and then me and the team went to Italy to spend time with the boys from Diamond Pro Tech. We did a little Italian tour because all the guys are really from there, and so they wanted to introduce us to some of the folks that they know. So we went and did that for about 4 days, and then I flew home while the rest of the family went south to the Amalfi Coast for a little vacation. It was the first vacation Jeff and Carolyn have had in 12 years of owning the company. So they were pretty excited for their first real vacation. So they got to do that. I ended up heading back home. And when I got home, turns out I got COVID, which I've now spread to my wife and children. So needless to say, I am not the man of the hour in the household, as I've been the one kind of being sick. And now they're sick, but I'm feeling great. So I get to actually kind of make up for it, right? Hopefully, being the dad and taking care of everyone.
Well,
Nice.
we definitely wish you all well and
Absolutely
and heal fast. My buddy, I got a buddy who's suffering right now in the basement watching that. Not my basement, his basement.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody in my basement.
That's good.
It sucks, but we wish you well. So
yeah, they've all been doing really good so far. Mine was literally 3 days of symptoms, and that was it. My son Augie, who I was the most worried about, he's a type 1 diabetic. He's been killing it. He's just been like, he had a little bit of a sniffle, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. I don't know why I can't go. Let's go to the store. Let's go do stuff. So that's been really hard for him. And then we'll see. We'll see how my wife does. And she's hoping that she gets the same thing I did, where at least it's 3 days of symptoms and then done. So we've all been really good, thankfully. So
well, that's good. And are you in that bedroom there for any particular reason?
Well, so normally I'd be broadcasting live from the MOS HQ, but this was where I've been working for the last week, is up here because I've been quarantined up here for the last week, and I just didn't take everything down and put it down in the MOS HQ. So that's the main reason. So welcome to the toy room here.
Beautiful.
Also a home away from home for Luke Berge when he comes. So.
Well, Alex, anything to add before we get to questions? You want to talk just real quick about the Diet Pepsi logo, maybe?
Yeah, the been listening to the TRC podcast for many, many years, since their first episode, in fact. And even though I don't drink Diet Pepsi, it's been a big part of them and the ones that do it. And they even got in on a Pepsi sponsorship, which I thought was pretty incredible. That just that doesn't happen just for anybody. And I've seen their collection, and it's pretty impressive. And just thought I'd show the love a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I appreciate it, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a time not too long ago I don't know, Coke came up because it's one of my favorite drinks to keep in the garage, and somebody said, oh, Levi Gates won't be happy with that. And I kind of didn't know what it meant. But, I reached out to Alex. He let me in on that. So, you've got a strong love for the Diet Pepsi.
So to talk a little bit about that, my dad was sponsored by Pepsi back in the 70s, mid 70s to late 70s. He had a race car, him and his buddy, and it was Pepsi. That was it. That was all of it. And so it was kind of funny to grow up we grew up in the race shop with my dad working on cars. The only thing available in the like fridge, so to speak. Sorry, I've got a bunch of things coming through that I need to close out here. The only thing in the fridge was Pepsi and Diet Pepsi. The only snacks available were double stuffed Oreos and Twizzlers. So as a little kid, and I was hanging out with my dad. I'm 4 years old at the shop. It was just Diet Pepsi or Pepsi. And so my dad would feed me Diet Pepsi because it didn't have any sugar in it, right? So it's much better for a child to enjoy and imbibe. But when I got older, it's just what I always drank. I just went for Diet Pepsi. That was my drink. It's what I grew up with. I walked around. I was at school. I had Pepsi memorabilia because we had hats and shirts and jackets that, get passed down, and you start wearing some of your dad's stuff and steal his shirt or you steal his jacket, or he always had some cool race stuff. And so that was kind of how it was. So it's always been a part of my identity. And then as we started doing stuff with the RAD company and creating the content, the shows, it kind of became a personal goal for myself. Hey, if my dad can get sponsored by Pepsi, why can't I get sponsored by Pepsi? So a lot of letters written, a lot of emails written, a lot of product placement in a lot of our videos to get a lot of no's, a lot of free t-shirts that got sent to us from Pepsi, which was kind of nice. But a lot of no's, until finally we were told the right way to talk to them. And that's what we did. Ooh. So it's kind of been that way for us ever since. They sponsor a lot of our open house events with free product, and we have fridges in the studio, and they've been really good to us. So
well, that's awesome.
So that's where it comes from.
Maybe we'll get people to drop their favorite soft drink, pop, soda, whatever you call it, in the comments. And if we could move on to question 1 here, this is going to allow our viewers to get Mike's got the Coke going. So, Levi, I watched a really interesting video. I was doing research like Alex, and it was called "Why Should I Listen to Levi Gates?" I think that's what you titled it, and I thought that's a neat video. But some people may not have seen it. So let's start with asking you this: when did the detailing bug first bite for you? And I know it was a long time ago.
So I've always been a detailer. It's hard to say, but my parents were detailers. And my mom always tells the story that she likes to argue this with my dad at Christmas. They've been divorced for 20, 30 years now. And they, about 25 years, 26 years, they talk about who was the first to teach me how to wax a car. My dad loves to say, oh, he was 12, 13 years old when that was his chore. That was when he was out there waxing your Plymouth Reliant K-Wagon. My mom says, no, he was 6 months old in a baby Bjorn, and we were working on cars, and she goes, I was waxing a car, and I'm trying to keep his hands out of it, and so I would try and talk to him and tell him what I'm doing. I'm teaching him how to wax the car, but he's 6 months old, and I'm just trying to keep his hands out of the can of wax. And it's kind of always been with me. My parents detailed cars pretty much till I was about 7 years old.
Wow.
Just kind of extra money. My dad was charging $30 a car to detail them on the weekends, and they do 4 or 5 cars between the two of them. And that was just the way it was growing up. And then we always had products in our garage, tons of detailing products. So I remember cleaning my bikes. I remember cleaning toys. I remember doing stuff with my dad in the garage and showing me stuff. And then once I got old enough, I had to mow my grandma's lawn, mow family's lawns. And I learned that washing cars was more fun, and I could make the same amount of money, if not more, washing a car for a neighbor or for my grandmother. And I could wash and vacuum and wax it at 10, 11, 12 years old. And I enjoyed that more. And I don't know why. The timing was I could mow the lawn in 30 minutes. It took me an hour and a half to wash a car. I don't know what was going on in my head, but that was that was how it started for me. And then it's never been something I've stepped away from. When I turned 16 and I needed to get a job, I got a job at the local car wash, literally a quarter mile down the road from my house, half a mile down the road from my house, because the RAD company is actually a quarter mile down the road from my dad's house currently, like the current location. So it's weird to start my professional career half a mile away from my dad's house and be currently, after 25 years in the industry, be only a quarter mile away from where I started.
Wow.
Still in the same town. So kind of wild, but now I have a worldwide presence. So it's very strange.
You do have a worldwide presence, and I have a question coming up about that. Thank you very much. So that goes quite a ways back. Here's question number 2 for you, Levi.
Okay.
So to what do you contribute all this success in the detailing industry?
Having a platform from the RAD company. That's really it. Detailing was always a closed system, basically. It was you in the shop or you with your team in a shop, but you really didn't have an outlet, especially, 15 years ago. There wasn't, you had the internet, you had forums, but realistically, you didn't have that many people on the forums discussing the kind of detailing I was doing, which was heavy production work at the time. And the only person I had was the guy in the truck or my boss. And my boss had learned it from another guy. And that was it. And they never wanted to teach each other how to do things. We never asked another shop, hey, how are you guys getting those cars done so quickly? They weren't gonna give us that answer. They weren't gonna share their secrets because they were worried we were gonna take a dealership away from them, or they were worried they were gonna lose employees. So it was always that. And it wasn't until, I was able to start my own shop that I started reaching out to people, and I started asking for knowledge and asking for help and asking questions, and then getting the RAD company platform and the fact that all of a sudden we're making videos, that I was all of a sudden had access to Ivan LaCroix. I had access to the Junkman. I had access to other schools of thought in detailing. And now I had a platform, as I call it, I have a ladder that I could climb. My goal and duty is to help everybody below me climb that exact same ladder and make it, be able to get to where I am and be able to share the knowledge that I'm receiving and giving it back out the way I can best.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's where my success came from. I've always been a detailer. I clean cars.
Yeah, but you've got a great platform and you're great at what you do, obviously. Thank you for that. All right. Number 3. So what part of your job brings you the most satisfaction?
I like it because it's instant gratification. I take a problem that's dirty and I make it clean. That's really the reason I do this. I like seeing people surprised when I can fix something. I like when, my car's dirty and my wife calls and says, wow, thanks for cleaning the car. I appreciate that. It smells good in here. That's what I enjoy. That's the satisfaction I get. But also for me, it's relaxation. That's why I've stuck with it for so long, because it was something I could do every day. It wasn't, no matter how bad my job was, the work was the same. The employees, the environment, the bosses, the managers, whoever I had to deal with, the dealerships, that always changed. That was always, I couldn't control that, but I could control the outcome of the vehicle. And that's what gave me the satisfaction. I could control that my work was good and that I enjoyed making it like that.
Yeah, well put. I will say I'm very happy to see Matt from Obsessed Garages chimed in. He doesn't often venture over to the RAD Garage Live, so it's great to see Matt.
That's very cool.
And he does have a question. Since he's a heavy hitter, we will interrupt the program. He had a question about a product. Where did it go? You guys see it in the comments here?
Yeah, it was up a little higher. He was asking about PNS Absolute.
He said, "Why do we need this?" And then he disparaged Pepsi. He's known for his janky opinions. and he's coming up to Canada, but he doesn't even know what part of Canada. So what's up with PNS Absolute?
So the story was PNS Absolute. Honestly, PNS said they really wanted to get into the rinseless game. Bob called me up a couple of years back. Dave called me up, and they just asked my opinions. Mm-hmm. If we're to create a rinseless, what does it need to have, and why? And I told them exactly why I don't like certain rinseless washes on the market that are very popular. I've tried every rinseless wash that's out there. I also know who makes what rinseless wash, and I know why certain people like certain ones and what it does. And it was one of those where if you're going to come at the king, you best not miss. And if you're going to do what I think you're going to do and create a rinseless wash, it's got to be like this, or I wouldn't even attempt it. I wouldn't even try it. And I know Sydney was exactly the same way. I know Kyle was the same way, and Anthony was the same way. And it was really the four of us working with Bob and Dave in really, really trying to get this like hammered out before it kind of went to Keith and Rennie and the rest of the team to finish up the rest of the stuff. But it was kind of a neat thing. It was one of those where like once we learned how to make it or what it was going to be, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. But the goal of it was, how do we make something completely different? How do we make something that works exactly like ONR, but has the capacity to have extra slickness, the ability to not need a drying aid or want to use a drying aid because you have that inherent slickness? And how do we make it so that it pairs really well with things like Bead Maker or Dream Maker? Honestly, in the scope of the world, those are the two biggest drying aids on the planet, and the most purchased and most used drying aids. So that's kind of the reason. And it was developed, one, to fix those kind of little things and the little stuff that maybe I had or Anthony had or Sydney had or Kyle with what Absolute needed to be and what maybe ONR or others weren't doing. And it was what we kind of came up with. And Rag Company sells a ton of ONR. We sell a lot of ONR. And it's not designed to replace ONR. It's just to provide a different option. You know, we have 7 or 8 different soaps at the Rag Company. So we don't have another rinseless. We have ONR. That's it. And so we needed something. But I'm not going to just bring on everybody else's rinseless washes because I don't use them.
Right.
I don't like everybody's rinseless washes for certain things. You know, I really like American Detailer Garage Fusion. I think it's a great product. I like Ammo Froth. I like those products, but I didn't want to bring that kind of stuff on. And so we just left it with, hey, ONR doesn't do anything wrong. Let's just use it. Let's just work with it. But Absolute, every new batch that was coming for the tests was wowing us and surprising us and shocking us. And that is why we kind of spearheaded and helped grow it and said, we want to be the ones to help launch this. And we think we can put the most, marketing behind it, so to speak. And can we hold off until we're all ready and we can do this worldwide or close to worldwide, but North American launch for the company? And PNS gratefully said yes. I mean, they could have just posted it and sent it out like they do with other products, but they were really adamant with us that we want to do this. So we produced that really fun video where Dane tried to poison us, and then the rest is history. And it's been doing really good. And I'm really amazed at the people that have said, why should I buy it? And then they use it and they go, oh, okay, this is really good. Now I see why. So I can tell you all over and over and over again, but this is why it's good. It's completely different science ground up than anything else on the planet, on the market. So, and Jamie the cleaner's right. If only there was someone who could answer all those questions. Sydney did a great job. So.
Yeah, Jamie's fuming in the comments. I know what that's like, Jamie, when you put out a specific video and then you see the question being answered on another channel. But that's awesome. So there you got your answer, Matt.
Matt, you need to get Jamie the Cleaner into your shop, and then you'll get all your questions answered.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into 2 questions, which I really enjoy. So what do you see happening, Levi, in the detailing world that makes you feel good?
Everybody coming together and sharing knowledge and experiences and teaching each other. You know, that's something I never saw until we, until we started doing it. And I love that, like, that is the kind of standard, the status quo now, is to share that knowledge, is to be able to help a detailer that's coming up. The other thing is, I love seeing posts within the industry, and I'm talking automotive, detailing, car wrapping, PPF, tint kind of industry, where detailers are hiring folks or entrepreneurs are hiring folks, and they're excited to teach them these skills and put this effort into training and teaching their new hires, and are okay with the fact that they're not going to be there forever. And if they teach these skills and it allows this person to maybe go open their own shop, that's a good thing. And I like seeing these posts. I saw a post recently of a guy who said, we taught so-and-so, this is his first car he's ever tinted, and I'm hoping for the best. We're going to sign him up for this stuff and do these things. And hopefully someday, if he wants to open a shop, I'll be right there with him, helping cheer him on. And that makes me happy, because I remember so many times listening to toxic detail shop owners and toxic business owners who just they didn't want to invest in their employees. They didn't want to invest in their people. And because they were worried, they're just going to quit and they're going to take their skills and they're going to go to that shop next door and they're going to be better than us. And I don't want that happening. So I'm not going to teach or train any of you guys, and we're just going to stay the way we've done it every time. And I like that there's this sharing of education now, because I came from the industry when it didn't have it.
Yeah, other guests have said similar things. It really is a collective.
Yeah.
And I find it doesn't matter how famous you are within this world, everyone that I know is approachable and like humble, apart from one person in the comments. I'm just kidding, Matt. All right, number 5.
Oh boy.
So what do you see happening in the detailing world on the other side that concerns you? Can't all be perfect, right?
It can't all be perfect. I still worry about something that came from, this is something that's always been around, and it's something Kevin Davis used to speak about a decade ago, is I still see too many companies, and it sounds weird because for all intents and purposes, I am the RAD company, and you see me holding a Diet Pepsi, and I'm wearing Brooks running shoes, and I am this brand guy. But the shops that are branding themselves as a certain company, a chemical company brand, if I had my detail shop, Hawks Detail, Masters of Shine, as it was called, my shop is my shop. It's me. It's what my customers are coming at to learn. What I don't like seeing is when shops completely change their name to name the chemical coating company that they are, and they are this company of Atlanta or, New Jersey or Florida. Like, that worries me, because you've now you've changed your entire branding of the company into this one company. And I've seen so many of those companies fall or go by the wayside in the last 25 years that worries me, that people are still doing that. I look at detailers who have a very large following, and they work with companies, and that's awesome. Provide that, be that expert, so to speak, for that brand and that company, but keep your identity as a detailer. That is first and foremost. Keep the identity of your company. That is what your, is who you are. That is your business, but that's also what pays for your house. That's what pays for food on the table. That's what pays for that. Unless you're going to do like I did and get rid of your shop and go whole hog with the RAD company,
Yep.
That's the way it's got to be, you know. It scares me that 10 years later we're still seeing that I'm still seeing new shops pop up that maybe started out as, we'll just make up a name, Tim's Detail Shop or Tim's Detailing, and that's how they started out as, and then 4 years later now they're such and such of this company, or this company of this city and state or state. Why couldn't they just still be Tim's Detailing and we're the, we install this product or we do this product? That's the only thing that I don't like seeing is folks completely getting rid of that, so to speak.
Yeah, they're giving up. Do they get an incentive? Like, what's the incentive for someone to do
that?
That's
the question. Yeah, that's the question. I don't know. Unless they're signing contracts with the companies that are saying, hey, we're racing the shop. You're going to be this shop from now on. We had a PPF shop here in Boise that became the Expel distribution center. They got bought out by Expel. That makes sense. Totally understand. Hey, I get it. Now you're now not only are you guys still doing PPF, but you're also providing you're a distribution hub for the area. You're supporting the other PPF shops around I get that. Totally fine. It's when they're not a distribution center, they're just another installer, just like any of the four of us. If we're all installing the same product, same coating, why did you brand your shop this? You know what I mean? That's what I look at. What are you doing different? Oh, I'm not doing anything different. I'm just installing it so I can get better SEO. You can do that without getting rid of your own brand, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Good food for thought. Mike, what were you going to say?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm just saying, I agree with what he's saying. And also, since we're getting really high on these viewers coming in, make sure you smash the like button. If we can get 50 likes, I'm going to call up the RAD company so we can get Levi foamed on their next live.
He has not consented, but he seems
That's okay.
He's a gamer. He'll do it.
He's gonna what he's gonna do is they'll call out a number, and then Mike's gonna come in and go, we had here's this, my 50 likes, my 75 likes, they count. We bumped that number. That's what's gonna happen, and Anthony and Dan will hold you to it.
Yep.
Well, we definitely have impressive numbers tonight. It must be because we brought Alex in.
Yeah,
I think
so. He is the magic.
I try.
He's magic. All right. While you're having a swig of your Pepsi, I'll put up number 6. So when you're not busy detailing and repping TRC, what can you be found doing?
Well, a lot of it is normally on my weekends. I usually have a car. This is the first weekend I don't have a car that I'm usually detailing right below me in the shop. And a lot of that is to test and demo new products. That is the majority of why I detail still is one, to give feedback, and 2, to put a little extra money in the household. But that's primarily it. My kids and my house take up most of my time. So I try to be a dad in the evenings and the weekends when I'm here. It was hard being gone for 11 days. And then I've got 5 weeks of home, and then we got SEMA. And so my wife has graciously been a good sport, because this year I think just about every 6 weeks I've had an event, or I've been traveling, or something has had to take me away for a while. And so a lot of it is just playing catch up and being available for my kids. I talk about that a lot in the podcast, is what I try to do with the kids every weekend, and what we try to do. I try not to schedule a car that's going to take an entire weekend. I try to only schedule a car that'll take me 4 hours, and I have 4 hours over the course of the weekend to work on it. So one, I'm not beating myself up. I'm still having a weekend. I'm still having time off to be able to do stuff. And I'm not burying myself for 16 hours in the garage for a weekend, killing myself and getting done and going, man, I didn't even get to hang out with my kids. I didn't get to do anything. I didn't get to, I did that. I tried that. It didn't work. So I thought, no, I got to cut it back. I got to make it easier. And
I'm sure
I've got to a pretty good spot.
I'm sure you're striking a chord with all of us, because I know this summer I spent way too much time in the garage. And as satisfying as that is, it's an opportunity lost to hang out. Tell me, what activities do you like doing with your kids, and how old are they?
So my son is 8, my daughter's 11.
Great ages.
So one thing that we like doing is the first Saturday of the month at Home Depot, they do a kids workshop, and my kids were very excited because 2 months ago that was that came back after 2 years. But before that, my daughter and son had amassed, we've been to 26 of them. And so that would be almost another 2.5, almost 2.5 years of those events. And it was pretty cool to be able to walk in with them, and my daughter's rocking hers, and she's coming in with 28 patches or buttons or whatever on her apron, and my son's walking in with nothing, and he's pissed because he can't find his apron. And he's trying to tell the Home Depot employees that he's also has one at home somewhere with that number, exact same. I've been doing this. I'm not no newbie. I'm a seasoned vet. But we like doing that. The other thing we like doing is we just play outside. We've got some radio control cars we play with. We ride bikes. We usually go on little adventures. They like playing D&D, which is something I'm getting them started on. I don't do enough of it, but it's something I want to do more with them because they actually really enjoy it. And then we do some camping. We got a little tent trailer that we take up, and we pack up Ragnarok, the Suburban, and we go do some camping. But that's it. Other than that, it's watching TV with my wife.
That sounds like more than enough. You qualify. You're a good dad, Levi. I can tell.
Thanks. Sometimes I don't feel like it, but thank you.
Well, we're all just doing our best, right? Because you want to work, you want to provide, but you also, every time you work, it takes time away from play. So we get that. We all get that. All right, number 7. So this one's interesting. If you could become an instant expert in absolutely anything, doesn't have to be detailing related, anything, what would it be?
Car painting.
Overnight expert. What's that? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Car painting.
Ooh,
very cool.
It's something I always wanted to do. I signed up to do it for school back in like 2003. And I just never pulled the trigger. I remember talking to the teachers and getting signed up and getting ready to go buy everything. And part of me was like, you don't really need to do that. You don't have the patience. There was a little devil on my shoulder saying, you don't have the patience for that. You don't need to do that. And I never did it. And it's something that I've always been fascinated by. And that's why I take car painters and custom painters. I really am amazed. It's something I've always valued ever since I was a little kid. I always valued their work. And so getting to do projects like I did for the famous painter Bill Watson, or Larry Watson and Bill Carter. Sorry, I got them confused there. Bill Carter had a Thunderbird, and he never finished it, but he was responsible for a lot of the really cool panel, fade, paint jobs, doing some crazy candy stuff. And one of my buddies got his degree in graphic design and then got a degree and became a car painter and started painting in a body shop. But he started taking custom classes from Paul Stoltz and all these guys that are still alive, and learned about a Thunderbird. And he ended up getting his dad to buy it. And he said, well, I'll do it. He bought that car and then said, I'm going to do it just like Bill Carter wanted to do it. And PPG said, we'll cover the cost of all the paint. If you're going to do it, we're going to put Paul out there with you. And my buddy Sean, who's also a custom painter, Regenerated Rides, he used to work with Charlie Hutton. They did it in his shop. And then they reached out to me to color sand the whole thing. And for me, growing up as a kid, that's a huge thing, to have, be able to touch, one grates his cars, but then also have my buddy be the one that shot and sprayed it and painted it. And I got to be the one to finish it and then finish it again after it got pinstriped and go be at the PPG booth for the Grand National Roadster Show this year. And I mean, that was a huge honor for me. And that's something that I look at and go, wow, so it's pretty awesome. But that's my thing. I wish I could do that because I don't have the patience for it. So, but I have the patience to sand and polish a car, which is very strange. I just don't
That
have the
car was
patience
absolutely
for
beautiful
masks and
too.
crap.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. It was a fun one.
Yeah.
It was a fun one.
Such good colors on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my grandpa had a body shop, but they never did cool projects. They would just fix a fender on a Ford Pinto. Like I would,
Yeah.
I don't think it wasn't like restorations back then. It was like a small Alberta town. And I do remember having a chance to paint. I painted a Mercury Bobcat white.
Mm-hmm.
It had drips all over it. It drips and runs, and my grandpa had to redo it. But I thought it looked pretty good. All right.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome that you had a cool project like that. All right. So number 8. We think you're a big deal. I don't know if you do, but well, you better. When did you first
It
realize?
surprises me every day still.
Well, when did you first realize it, that you were a bit of a big deal in this world?
I got stopped in an airport.
There you go.
And it was right after we had shot the first, I think we had done the first 10 videos for the RAD Company YouTube channel. And Jeff and I, we went on our first trip, and Jeff had offered me a job to come work for the RAD Company. It was the first time he offered me the job. And on our way back from that event, it was just me and him, we were coming back, and a guy grabbed me and was like, Levi, are you Levi from the RAD Company? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh my gosh, I'll watch all your videos. And then he grabs his wife and daughter and brings them over, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? And he's going, this is the guy, I watch all his YouTube videos, and I only have like 7 videos out. Like we don't have that many videos. And this guy's
cool.
telling his wife, this is who I watch. Oh my gosh, this is great. I love the towels. I love O&R, blah, blah, blah. And those were those first videos I did with Ivan. And I couldn't believe it. And I remember calling my wife going like, I just got recognized at and we weren't that far. I was in Salt Lake, like 4 hours away. And it was just weird, but it was perfect because it cemented to Jeff that he was right in offering me a job. And that, because he was really leery about the video stuff. He trusted Dane, but he was just unsure because they had looked at how much it was going to cost to do a lot of this stuff, and with having a company do it for them. And they basically just told Dane, do it, try and do it as cheap as you can and figure it out. And Dane was like, I need a GoPro, I need some mics. And we called up Gabe, who is our current media production manager, but at the time he was a high school teacher, and he was teaching video broadcasting to his students. And he invited his class to my shop to do these videos and gave him extra credit. And I bought pizza and barbecue for like a week. Every night we did something different, but they showed up at my shop at 6 p.m. and we worked till midnight every night shooting these videos for a week with Ivan in town. And then we did it again when Junk Band came to town. And but it was the first time that, I did it for free. I did all that for free. And Jeff, helped pay for some of the stuff. But it was one of those where we looked at each other and we said, holy crap, this could work. And now we have what we have. We have the whole studio. We have all the cameras. We have all the employees that just do editing. I mean, it's getting pretty insane now, but it all started just that way. And so we started from humble beginnings, and I still am amazed. I went to Auto Mechanica. It's the first time I'm in Germany, and there are still people from all over the world that are coming to get pictures with me and meet me, and can we do a quick interview with you? We're from Bulgaria, or we're from Yugoslavia, or just crazy to go. I'm amazed. To me, I'm just a 16-year-old kid in my dad's driveway washing a car still.
Yeah. Just a bit older. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, I find it interesting. I'll go to the local mall, and most people pretend they don't know who I am, and they're good at it. Like they're really
right.
Good
they're very nice.
I know they know who I am.
They're looking at you. They're looking. They got side eye.
They're good actors. Well,
right.
The next question talks about rabbit holes, and one rabbit hole I'm on recently is BMX bikes from my youth. I've been watching videos and tuning into channels. I really want to get this Diamond back. I never had when I was a teenager. So question number 9 to you, Levi, is what YouTube rabbit hole have you gone down recently?
Well, so I've done the exact same thing. BMX bikes. That's one. I used to ride BMX as a kid. I used to race BMX as a kid. So I love bikes.
What's your dream bike? Give me a couple dream bikes.
So I'd love to get an old Huffy Sigma again, because that was the bike I had when I was 9. I had a blue, I had a blue Mongoose BMX that was I was about 7 when I got it. I remember going with my dad to get it. I remember being too little for it, but my dad buying it because it was a good deal. But he bought it from some dude on a street corner. He had a bunch of bikes sitting out there, and it was this blue Mongoose. And I remember just thinking it was the coolest thing. It had Japanese writing on it. And the guy probably bought a bunch of these bikes, shipped them over, and put them together, and was selling them out of the back of his van in a parking lot here in Boise. But I remember I always loved that bike. And then my Sigma. And I've seen guys on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook building some of these older ones and finding them and going, holy crap, how do I get one of those? So I've done that. The other thing I do is my rabbit hole is Mercedes W124s, LS swaps. That's something I would love to do for some reason. 90s E-Class Mercedes Benzes. There's just, I'm 42 years old. There's something about that body style that speaks to me. I think it was because I was a teenager when those were out. And so part of me goes, man, I need to find me like a 93, 94 W, E300 or E500 if I can, and V8 swap it, do an LS in it just for fun.
There's I don't know if you guys follow Bill from Curious Cars on YouTube.
No.
He's a grumpy old 50-year-old man. He's exactly my age, and he does reviews. He does really honest reviews on cars, usually after complaining about the Florida weather. But he loves those Mercedes you speak of. He thinks those are like the last of the true Mercedes, that analog kind of Mercedes. They're built like a bank vault, and they just look so cool, right? Before they're really neat. I like that.
I saw a couple up at Automechanica, because it's like SEMA, and I saw it in one of the halls, and I was telling Dane, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get me one of these. It's getting harder and harder to say no.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe get a BMX bike just for the budget.
Yeah.
Just to keep things realistic.
Yeah. But, well, that's why I built bikes. That's why I did bikes, because before I had done cars, I'd had a 63 Lincoln Continental suicide door. I had a 68 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. When my wife and I were first married, I had my Oldsmobile that's tattooed on my arm. I still have a 46 Chevy pickup. I love hot rods and sleds and classics, but you're right. I didn't make a lot of money back in the day, and so I didn't have money to do stuff with. So I moved over to bicycles and started building bikes and building mountain bikes and cruisers and tandems and all kinds of stuff. And that was where I put my money, because it was a lot easier to do that. But then I had kids, and my wife goes, why do we have 27 bikes in our garage? Well, you don't even ride any of them. Because we can, and I'm getting them cheap. Yeah. So,
well, this brings us to the final question, and it fits in with what we are talking about. So please describe for us a recent non-detailing related purchase that left you highly satisfied. We've had a lot of different answers over the years with this one.
So it wasn't recent, but I've said this many times on our podcast. My deep freezer in my garage is seriously the greatest thing I've ever owned, and it's something that I'm so proud of. And it's because I never had one growing up. I always had friends that had one in their garages, and they always had they always had ice cream, and they always had stuff in it, popsicles and meat. Like their dad would hunt, because I didn't come from a hunting family, and so their dad would go hunting with his brothers or whatever, and they'd fill the thing with meat. And so you'd come in, and there'd be the dad would hand you a couple steaks to take home or whatever. Or being a teenager, we'd raid my buddy's freezer to get steaks to cook up on a Friday night when we were teenagers. And so it was always something that I always thought was super cool. And so I always wanted one in my last house, but we never bought one. And then when we got this house, this was the first thing I was like, we've got to get, I want one. Because that has to be. And it has been so fun because we've been in this house almost 5 years now, and it's been so fun watching my kids in the spring and summer run in and grab popsicles out of there and then run out into the driveway with them, or they bring the neighbor kids from 3 or 4 houses and they all come over and I walk or pull in and they're all sitting out in the front yard eating popsicles. That has been the most like satisfying thing because it's something I always wanted. And I didn't know like how bad I wanted it until I got it. And now I see it and I'm like, I stop that thing. I try and keep it full of popsicles. And as I term it, ice novelties. It's one of the benefits of the MOSHQ, the number of ice novelties available. Mm-hmm. And it's because of that. That's kind of been the fun thing that I've had. That has been the most satisfying thing that I've ever had. And I got Anthony to buy one. I'm still trying to get Dane to buy one, but Anthony bought one and he has seen the light.
That is so awesome. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a rare Maserati, does it, to bring you satisfaction? My dream would be having a Slurpee machine.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be pretty great. The other one I have is yeah, that's right.
Okay.
My other one is my truck bed trailer.
Okay.
So that I bought, and that is it's a 67 to 72 Chevy pickup, half-ton long bed, just a trailer. And it has been the greatest thing. So it's a truck bed trailer.
Yeah, just with
and
that.
So it's, and I bought that thing from a guy in Mountain Home for $200 or $150 and towed it back. It had 3 different mismatched wheels on it, a spare, and then 2 different wheels. None of the lights worked. I brought it in as a project, pressure washed the whole thing, rewired it, ordered all new lenses from LMC Truck, made it so that the trailer lights work in the lights, made everything work as nice as I possibly could. And then I polished it all, patina polished it, and then I clear coated the whole thing. And then I got some bigger tires from the Suburban that I used to have previous before I put the new wheels and tires on. I had some 33s I threw on it. I went and got some matching wheels for it. So I have a little bit of it's a little taller trailer. It's a little lifted trailer, but it's my dump run trailer. It's my yard trailer, but it's a full 8-foot pickup bed that I can use, that I can beat up, that I can, throw stuff. I recently got some sandstone bricks from work, brought the trailer to work. Nice. We loaded it up. It was squatting. It was hurting pretty bad, but I made it home and dumped the rocks, and that's been indispensable. And I've got maybe $500 in that thing, and it is such a good piece of yard equipment that I never thought I'd need. But it's a full 8-foot truck bed. Like I can go dump runs. I can go get stuff. I just hook it up to my Suburban and it goes. So that's my other one.
It does have a name and an Instagram page.
It does have a name and an Instagram page. It's called Green Bean. Yep. And I would love to build another one. I had so much fun making that, but the prices have gone crazy. There's people wanting $1,000 for a trailer.
Started a trend.
Damn.
Yeah, $1,000 for a truck bed trailer. It's not even a full truck. It's half of it.
Well, $1,000 in Canada is a deal. Everything's $1,000 here.
Yeah.
A tire for that trailer would be $1,000. Well, thank you very much. We come to the end of the questions that I prepared, that we prepared. But what we want to do now is go to the comment section. And if anyone has a question for Levi, I think we've got some people who know you pretty well in the comment section, Levi. I'm going to throw this one up first, guys, if you don't mind. It's something about your time as a Bollywood producer and stuntman.
Gee. Thank you for that one. That's a good one.
Davis.
Great
G is a favorite.
I like his other question there about Dane's freezer would be filled with Italian sea bass and massage chair oil. So,
well, I feel like that needs to have a little bit of explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't know, that might be a little concerning.
Yeah. Well, Dane has a massage chair, and he did get back from the Amalfi Coast, so he did probably catch a taste of that sea bass. But no, it's been it's fun seeing everybody. I saw Stu's, the Choco Tacos. My kids and I went on a scavenger hunt for Choco Tacos to the point that I think we went to like 8 different locations in one day trying to find Choco Tacos. And we came back with quite a haul. But Augie still to this day he checks every time we walk into a gas station. He's like, where are they? And sometimes they're there still, sometimes they're not, but I think they're getting pretty ripe. They haven't sold yet.
So we've got some technical questions coming in,
which is good. Yeah, I see that.
Let's get technical for a second. Sean wants to know, can Diamond Body 36 be applied to texture trim?
It can, but it depends on what you want to do with that. If you're looking to lock in the trim and it's a brand new car, I don't have a problem with it. If it's an older car and you've restored the trim, I don't really recommend clear coating or coating restored trim. I'd rather just keep restoring it, because solution finish on its own is good for almost 2 years if prepped properly. And then you can just reapply it again. It takes almost no time. So for me, that's kind of where I get, because I've noticed that sometimes the UV on older or newer plastics isn't as good as some of the older plastics. And so even though you clear coat it, there's still a possibility where you'll get UV damage in the plastics, not in the coating. So I try to stay away from coating trim, but yeah, you can do it.
Well, let us know how it goes, Sean. Jamie the Cleaner, what are Levi's top 3 home garage amenities in the HQ?
The LSHQ, well, that's the Viper chair, my lighting solution package, and the home freezer.
There you go.
Full ice novelties.
Beautiful.
What's your pressure washer of choice? If you
don't mind. I have a Sunjo. I have the cheapest Sunjo that's really available on wheels. It was I can't remember the name of it, but it's a Sunjo that's got a little cart attached to it, and it's just a pump on a basic steel cart. That little thing has been doing great. It works wonderful. And then I have it hooked up to a PF22 gun, MTM gun.
Yep.
That's it. So it's simple. It's easy. It's inexpensive. I think it was $120 on Amazon, and it's been doing duty for about 4 years now, and it does a car just about every weekend.
Wow. Yeah, well, it's making you money every minute over a year or something like that's making you money.
Yeah.
How about Ken's question? Yeah. Favorite towel? Which is the towel that's most used in your garage, your go-to?
The FTW. I lost you guys there. Hold on. The FTW is my favorite. My most used in my garage is Creatures, because I grab B grades. So
Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, B grades, for those wondering, are the bad ones, the offcuts, the ones we don't get to use. So
I got a question for you. So I know when you bring in companies, you go through a lot of thorough details. You go to the chemist, you go through all their informations and everything. Is there companies that won't do that for you?
Yeah, and if they don't, I don't bring them on. That's simple.
So, is there some big companies that you can share that won't do that?
I can't, but I can tell you that there are many of them. If I don't sell them, there's a reason for it.
Let me ask you this: is there some big companies that you've gone to the chemist, you've gone through their paperwork, and then you decided, no, don't want it?
Yep.
Wow.
We've had companies like that as well, where we've done everything. It finally just comes down to whether or not Anthony and I can agree on bringing the product on. So that's the number one thing. We both have to agree.
How does one, like a small company, even start a process to even come in? Because I mean, I know a lot of small companies that would probably love to even talk to you. They don't even know how to even start a process. How would one even do that?
A lot of them just reach out, and Anthony and I do a lot of research on our end too, where we're looking. We'll check and see. Usually we'll find out about a company and we'll just kind of watch them. But we do a deep dive on our own. We try to see what they do, how they post, what their feed's like. We try to keep it very professional. We hope that they keep it very professional. Right. And then we kind of do some background, and we try and find out who they are first through different channels before we approach them. Or if they approach us, we do ask that we get, when we do, we start that question first and say, hey, I've got 2 companies right now that have reached out, sent me a message just saying, hey, love to sit down and have a call with you. I have another company that I've had a call with, but they were just kind of like, yeah, I'm not really all that interested. And it's like, all right, cool. Sounds good. So it really just depends. But Anthony and I usually look first, find out if it's something we want to even look at. So.
One more question. I have a storefront where I do sell RAD Company towels. The one thing that I don't see in your store is waffle weave towels. Do you guys ever plan on selling? Them. Oh, do you? I don't.
We've got the Dry Me a River.
Yeah, a few different ones.
Yeah, the Dry Me a River is our Korean waffles, and we have our Chinese waffles also that are we've got 1616, we've got a 1627. And then we've got our Korean waffles, and our Korean waffles are probably one of the most famous because that's the main logo or the main. It's the number one. Huh?
You have like the waffle fiber tiles?
Waffle fiber. We have waffle weave microfiber.
Yeah, they're like.
Here, let me make Mike a little bigger here.
Like these.
Yeah, those are pluffles. So.
Yep.
We're the ones that came out with the pluffle 15 years ago, where it's plush and a waffle. We're the originators of that. Yeah, it's called the pluffle. We're the originator of it.
Okay. I'm a little look for those.
We have them. Yeah.
I'll send you some links, Mike.
Well, yeah, I need to go into the.
Mike, remember, we make over 150 different microfiber towels, and we've been making them for 22 years. So us and Microfiber Tech are 2 of the oldest microfiber manufacturers in the world.
All right. I'm gonna go to the wholesale store right now and go start looking.
Yeah, they're called Fluffle.
I'm gonna go stop.
So we call them. Yeah.
Money right now.
Yeah, but we call them the Pluffle because they're a plush waffle, and it's the same thing with like the gauntlet where we created 2. We kind of took 2 towels, married them basically. We did that with the twist loop and the eagle to create the gauntlets. We're the originators of the gauntlet pattern as well. So.
Yeah, we've got some funny viewers.
We sure do.
That's the part I enjoy the host, obviously, but I always enjoy our viewers. Jamie here says, plush waffle, just get doer to add syrup.
Yep,
exactly.
Our magic touch.
So we have time for a few more questions, you guys, and then we're going to wrap things up because I know you guys have lots of other things you want to do this Saturday night. So do we have a couple more questions?
There you go, right there.
Mike? Okay.
That's it, right there.
Hit the buy it now button, Mike.
I can buy it by the case.
Ooh, you're a big fan now. I forgot.
That's the only way to do it.
He buys them by the case.
Yep.
Do you have any questions for Levi, Alex? Like, do you miss him? Like, it's been.
Yeah, no, it's when I went there, I was greeted with a nice big Boise hug, which is usually you have to pay extra for that, but
he hugged
complimentary. You. Yeah, it was special. Right. It was cool.
One more question.
Oh, okay, Mike.
Oh, Mike's got something. Let's go.
You guys now have the Grand Ambassador application thing going on. What do you guys look for in that?
That's not me. That's all Anthony. But what we look for is someone who it doesn't matter their numbers. What we look for is their content, how much they post, what type of content they post to make sure it's cohesive, and then we check their engagement. We make sure that they are constantly keeping in touch with those people. They're actually responding to comments and questions and things like that. That's what we look for.
Okay.
I wouldn't be a Grand Ambassador because I'm not very good at that stuff. So I've always said that. Anthony goes through but I'm not the guy. I don't respond to comments all that often. I do random pictures of stuff. I'm not that good at it. So it's definitely with Rick and Alex being Grand Ambassadors. It's a huge undertaking. So
yeah, I got to say, if anyone watching this live or watching this after is wondering what Grand Ambassador is, it's a contest that's run quarterly.
Mm-hmm.
And
quarterly.
The company and their team pick 10 ambassadors through Instagram, to basically be involved, become part of the family. You do get some awesome swag, and it's just a really
we give you a lot. Yeah, Mike gets stuff. Like we get a bunch of stuff to everybody. People always ask us how to get sponsored. How do you sponsor me?
Yep.
This is how you get sponsored.
Yep.
And we do it in the terms of we do 40 people a year, and whoever does it the best over the entire year or the whole time that they've been a Grand Ambassador, because you could do it, you could have a crappy year and the guys in the last quarter kill it. That's how they become Grand Ambassador. And Grand Ambassador of the Year gets a huge prize package. So at the end of that. So it's pretty rad.
Yeah, and if anyone doesn't know, Alex here was Grand Ambassador of the Year for 2022.
21.
There
we go.
What year? I have no idea. What century are we in?
Years are overlapping. Yeah, it's I think it's a cool approach. It's we've talked about it before, but it's there's lots of big companies that just send stuff to people and expect a lot of content or feedback or whatever, and your guys' approach is a lot different. But even aside from the products, it's just the relationships that you build with everybody that's picked is the greatest part for me. I've met so many new people. Rick, I'm sure you've met so many new people as well. And even Justin, who won in 2020, he's with KCX now. That's unbelievable. Yeah. Would he be there without the Grand Ambassador program? I don't know, but I'm sure it helped big time, which I love to see.
Mean Bees.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have become. There's Mean Bees in there. We've got a lot of people that have become actually gotten jobs. Alex from Viper Chair was a Grand Ambassador. Who else? Robin with 2 labs was or lab detail or detail.
Yeah, detail lab.
She's now with Auto Geek, so she was a Grand Ambassador. So we've got a lot of Grand Ambassadors that have gone on to bigger and better things, so to speak. So
no, it's a real
become names in the industry. Yeah,
it's a real lift. It's a real lift to you, and it just energizes you and makes you think what's next.
Yeah.
I also have to say the media event, and when was that, Alex? When did that
was in March.
Yeah, this year is the beginning of April. Thank you. Yeah, we'll have that this year, first week of April. It'll be happening again. So
I said it was like going to a teacher's conference, except everything was cool.
I like the show Jamie did before and after. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that pre and post show.
Well, our goal is to try and get the boys there live in person, being able to host their pre and post this year.
That would be sweet.
That's kind of the goal.
Little ESPN Sports Center type vibe.
Yeah. I think that what he did was pretty.
We'll be stacking up papers like we know what we're doing.
I'm available.
Yeah, Rick. Okay.
No, it's during school hours, Rick.
I will say though, if you thought what was on screen was cool, you should have seen behind the scenes. The choreography of everybody, getting everybody in their places when they need to be. It's a well-oiled machine. That was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, it was very
crazy week, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey,
if he does need a co-host, I'll be available.
Yeah, we'll all be available. We are
guys. My wife is.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just said my wife is texting me, so.
Oh,
I think my house is probably on fire.
All right. Well, why don't we'll just say thank you, Levi. Continued best of success to you and the whole team at TRC.
Guys.
You truly are the master of shine, and we really appreciate you spending time with us. Why don't we let you go, and then the 3 of us will wrap the show up.
Thanks, Levi.
All right,
Take
guys.
care.
All right.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks to everybody watching.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Buddy. Wow, I'm glad that guy's gone, eh?
Hey, man, that guy's crazy. Hey,
when you get a text from the wife, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you. Hey, Mike, what's coming up? Why don't both of you take a second? What's going on with you guys? Anything interesting coming up?
Well, we got 2 weeks from tonight. We got the ladies' night. And then
so explain a little bit about that. What do you mean ladies' night?
We got Kelly with Royal Reflection, Chelsea with Attention to Detail, and we got Christine She does that PPF down there in LA.
Concierge detail.
Yeah, concierge detail. And then I'm working on Sydney also with PNS. And
That'll be
then,
neat. Yeah.
huh?
That'll be neat.
Yeah, and then in 4 weeks, which will be still
early November.
Yeah, and it'll still be in October.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Michael Phillips with 3D.
Very cool.
And then in November, on November 30th, it'll be on a Wednesday. It'll be Rick's birthday, just like last year.
Nice.
Just like last year when we had Pan the Organizer. This year on Rick's birthday, we will have Pan the Organizer again.
Is there a gift that can top it?
Well, last year Dee Dee.
Oh yes, I remember.
So this year, there's something in the mix for that. So I can't say because the guy is actually sitting in the thing right there. So I can't say. So whatever.
Very nice.
Well, Mike, you have done an amazing job of lining up these guests. I'm curious who the audience would like to see Mike go after. And a few years ago I would have said, keep it realistic, but name them. I'm thinking Jim White would be an amazing guest.
Okay, is that the guy from White Detail?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did reach out to him, and believe it or not, this is what he says. All right, loves to talk on YouTube, but does not like to talk live.
That's legit. I know a few people that are mortified to think of even coming on something like this.
Even Mike, which is Chromatic, says the same thing. Yeah, does not like to talk on. He don't even like talking on YouTube.
Yeah,
but does not. He just hates talking on YouTube. That's why he barely even talks on there. But won't come on a live stream. And I've tried a bunch of times. Believe me, I've tried.
You get Jay Leno?
I have not asked Jay Leno.
I'll tell you what. I'm friends with a guy named.
Geek, though I did almost got Auto Geek. It was close.
Oh, okay. Auto Geek.
Got a couple guys saying Jay Leno, Larry Casella with ammo.
Oh, I'd love to get.
I did get back and forth with Larry a bunch of times, and Larry said, "Well, try back." And so I tried last year. Larry said, "Well, try back in spring." I tried back in spring. He said, "Well, try back in summer," and then I tried back in summer. So and he said, "Okay, I'm just too busy for it." Yeah. Detail Geek, not even a question. He's Canadian. I'm not getting any more Canadian.
Can't stand Canadians.
They're the worst. Flip flops.
Paul Golden
all the time.
Yeah.
Alter Ego Brothers.
I did talk to Luke Wilson on the phone. This was his words. He will not do. He does not work after 2:00. So he would have to do He would have to do. Paul Dolden. I did do a live stream with Paul before, but he is actually 8 hours ahead of us. So he would be.
That gets tricky, doesn't it?
Yeah, we would have to do it very early. Wax mode. Oh, Sandro. Sandro.
I'm just throwing them up there, giving you ideas. I'm filling your mind.
Yeah, Sandro would be good. Apex. That could be a possibility. Yep. We've had him on the show, but he was with Eric before. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't think we can keep up with Luke.
Hey,
Scott HD, that's a good one. We can get Scott HD on here.
Scott HD.
So whatever happened to that guy? Did he get famous after trying to blow up Pan?
I don't know.
I hope so. That's what he was trying to do. So
I'm thinking about how last year we
never heard of these guys. I don't know.
Cast. I don't know. Guys, those guys are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't trust them.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah,
I'd love to have Matt on.
Yep.
Matt, who?
Matt Obsessed Garage. Matt
Obsessed Garage.
Again? You want him back on?
It's been a while.
Maybe early next year.
I think we could.
I never
don't
hosted
want to
him.
get nothing too planned up because, we got the holidays coming.
Yeah.
I only want to do one in November, and plus your birthday one. I only want to do really one in December. That's basically like how we did last year, like a Christmas one like we did. We just got like a bunch of people come in, say, hey, what's going on, party, and then nothing else, and then just get back in it in January.
And I mean, speaking of the holidays, a big holiday for Rick and I, October 7th is the start of the NHL regular season. Flames start on the 13th, I believe. We have a whole new team. I'm very excited.
I have half a season of tickets this year again.
Ooh, beautiful.
And I'm very excited.
So let me guess. I'm going to miss you for half a season again on Saturdays?
Yeah, Saturdays. So now my kid's playing hockey. Well, my kid's been playing hockey since he was a little guy. And Saturday night seems to be practices for him. That's where he is right now. My wife had to take him to the first practice of the season, and there was a parents' meeting, and she was very stressed out because I'm usually doing that. But I wasn't going to miss Levi for anything. So, I feel bad for people like this who really don't understand how greater and less than signs work. Jesse thinks the shark's mouth opens towards the biggest best. So that's backwards. Right, Jesse? All right. Well, listen, this has been fun overtime. Does anybody have any other suggestions? I would love to.
What?
Oh, man, somebody's just my mind. Would be funny to get Detail Geek on.
Yeah, that would.
I just want to know what his secret is.
Yeah.
I've messaged him before. Believe me, I've tried. I don't get no response.
I didn't think Saskatchewan vehicles were that bad, but he's proved me wrong.
Every time I always leave a comment, your staging crew did a great job. But
yeah,
maybe cool. Alex, Rick, maybe you guys can message Mike or Chromatic. That's his name.
Yeah.
Let's try to get him on our show.
He needs a Canadian approach.
Yeah, no, he's told me he wouldn't want to do something like this. He can't believe I would do something like this because. But I want to do a project with him where we bring our skills together.
That would be wonderful.
His filming skills are just unbelievable. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. We're going back to Jay Leno. Sometime this month, I think it's in the middle of October, there will be an episode that airs for Leno's Garage. I think it's on MSNBC. And it features a friend of mine, Tyson Hughes, Integra. He's the Acura collector, which I would like to have him on a live stream at some point. He has easily a dozen Acuras from the 90s, high mileage, perfect shape. He does amazing projects. But what happened was it must have been January or February. He got invited. He drove down to Leno's Garage, met Jay, and they took his Integra for a ride, and then they had it evaluated by an expert. So that episode airs sometime in October. I'm very excited to see that because he's just such a cool guy.
That's Tyson cool.
Check him out on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, someone commented I'm Josh V to have him on the show. He's been all over my YouTube feed. So
yeah,
he does do a lot of videos.
He does.
He does what? A lot or long?
A lot.
Yeah, he does. He reviews everything.
Lots.
He does review everything.
Yep.
He seems pretty honest with it as well.
Yeah, Hughie is the Acura guy. That's right.
Yeah.
I saw an episode with Jay and Tyson. So, David, that has aired then. So that must have just been in the last week or so.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, CNBC. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. What?
I'm going to work on Jay Leno.
So, quick story about Jay Leno. There's a guy, he sent me a hat. He's a Cadillac guy. He's out of Edmonton. And he and I were chatting a lot a couple of years ago. And he was going for a trip down to LA, and he called Leno's Garage and left a message with someone that he would love to be able to go on a tour. And he works on like the telephone lines
Right.
He's like a lineman. So he's up at the top of the line working on a telephone line, and his phone rings, but he can't answer it. Because it's winter, he's got his gloves on. It was Jay Leno, and Jay Leno left him a voice message saying, "Hey man, it would be great, no problem." And he played the message for me, but none of his calls back to Jay Leno's garage were ever answered. So he missed his opportunity to speak personally with Jay Leno, because he called him in the middle of his workday, and he was so sideways about it. Like,
crazy.
You would be.
Man, the man himself too. I mean,
yeah. But Jay Leno flies into Calgary, not regularly, but periodically, to visit a guy named Fred Phillips, who has a car collection here that is just unbelievable. Fred Phillips. It's not really a public shared collection, but it's one of the most substantial collections. And I was able to take some students on a field trip, and we got an invite. And as Fred was touring us around, he kept mentioning this guy, his friend Jay. And eventually I put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, "Are you talking about Jay Leno?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just call him Jay."
Yeah.
But his collection's at near an airport, so he just flies right into the airport on his chartered jet. It's pretty cool. Jay Leno's an unbelievable car guy.
Yeah. It's like not only his collection but his knowledge.
Yeah, but
he knows so much about everything.
Comedy, meh.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. Stick to the cars, and that's what he does.
I think Fluffy has a better car collection, because I like his I like the VW collection that he has.
Who's this?
Gabriel Iglesias.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, super funny.
Oh, he's funniest.
If you want to lose a few pounds by laughing, Rick, you watch his Netflix specials and you'll be in tears.
What's his name?
Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah,
Gabriel Iglesias.
His nickname's Fluffy.
Yeah.
So I do take a lot of what people say to heart, and a while back I mentioned that I've never seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, and I've watched 2 of them. I watched Tokyo Drift. It's so bad.
No, that one's not really a good one.
And then I watched, I think it was the original.
The original was good.
No,
We've triggered the commenters.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know if I've ever liked a car movie though, because I like things to be realistic.
Right.
And like Tokyo Drift, when Paul or what's Paul?
Is it because they're not in wheelchairs, Nick? Well, I mean, I don't know.
The first is a class. I get that they're class. It's kind of like people it's just a generational thing, I think. I'm just looking at my text there. This is fun, guys. Just chatting.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. Oh, Jason Otterness from Chicago Auto Pros.
Tokyo Drift is the best one.
I had him on the show already.
It was so good. Like you guys think the acting's good in those movies? Or is that not the point? Yeah,
I think it's the drifting and the non-legalities of it. I think is enticing.
You were pretty good. When The Rock came in and it got more computer animated, it was all right.
Now they're just going to space. So.
What?
Listen to me.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty broken up over the passing away of Olivia Newton-John. Grease is one of my favorite movies. Man, that's got to be the hardest Hollywood death I've had to endure, was Olivia Newton-John. That lady was something special. Hey, so what's going on with Greg Masterson? Did anyone find out?
I sent him a text today. I didn't get nothing back from him.
So rumor is, and I think it is just rumor because you saw it on a thread on a detail forum, right, Mike?
It was a bad accident.
He was in an accident.
Yeah.
Well, I know he's not watching, but we're all wishing Greg, whatever he's going through, the best. He's a pretty special dude.
Yeah,
he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
very energetic.
He's got an energy that, and it's I don't know, it's intoxicating. I remember when we had him on the live, I was just like, I will go to war with this man. He's just got a real gift. So I hope he's doing well. If anyone is able to contact him, let him know.
Because I actually have his phone number, and I sent him a message.
We'll send him another one from all of us, wishing him well, and if he can give us an update.
Okay.
See, now, finally, Neil says something I agree with. He's normally wrong on a lot of things, Neil White, but on this, he's correct. You know what else I loved was Cannonball Run. It was one of the first videos I watched on a VHS. I don't know if you've seen it, Alex. You're pretty young.
Cannonball Run? No, I haven't. Not
what?
Personally, no. But.
I don't know if you'd even find it anywhere now. It was Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise.
Yeah, I remember seeing pictures and like little
Jamie
clips of
Farr,
it.
Catherine Bach. She drove a Lambo. Oh, it was about a rally.
Okay.
I don't know if it stands up. I think there's a lot of,
Yeah, I know.
Uncomfortable themes that don't play well in 2022.
Yeah.
What's your favorite car movie, Alex? Don't say Fast and Furious.
Oh, geez. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if I have a favorite. I know our car club down here we do a drive-in movie night every summer, and this past year we had American Graffiti, which is pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, it's a good car movie.
Yeah, especially for the classic cars that there's plentiful of here.
Yeah,
we did Smoking the Bandit one year. We really wanted to do the Cars series just because of make it family friendly. But
the cartoon cars.
Yeah, but
I love it.
Disney,
I love it so much.
Disney likes to charge a lot of money when you're paying for a movie to be publicly shown.
Yeah, well, they need the money. Like, their company's just barely holding on, man.
Yeah,
it's tough for Disney.
It is. Yeah, but yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a car movie, but a lot of the scenes in Baby Driver were pretty fun. I did enjoy that. Even though they did things that a Subaru shouldn't be doing, but they managed to get it done.
I don't know if I've seen Grand Theft Auto with Ron Howard.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one either.
Ron Howard, that's Happy Days, right? He was in American Graffiti, wasn't he?
I'm not too sure. That's a question for Google to settle.
Oh yeah, Knight Rider was pretty cool.
Knight Rider was pretty cool.
Yeah,
the one show I liked to watch when I was a kid was Emergency and Chips.
Yes, they were back to back.
Yes, they were
back to back. Yeah, one was about the paramedics, and the first one was about the highway patrol in California with Ponch.
Yep,
Poncharelli.
I didn't mind Days of Thunder. That was pretty fun.
Days of Thunder. Back to Chips. I used to watch Chips as a kid, and then I would go recreate the car accident because every episode had a car accident. I'd go down the basement and do that. Yeah, Cars 2 left me. Keep politics out of Cars.
Yeah.
But my son loves it, so I had to watch it so many times. Because like Bernoulli, the race, he had a great accent, but the plot line was so bad. 2-lane blacktop. Don't know it.
No.
I saw a weird movie. It was one of Steven Spielberg's first films. And it was about a truck that just chased down this family. Like, you get road rage. And I can't remember what the name of it is. I'm sure it's a cult classic. Oh, Christine. That was a great car movie. Because his buddy had that 69 Charger. The cool friend had this cool Charger. And then the nerd went and bought the 58 Fury that came alive.
I have a lot of car movies to catch up on. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, people are... Yeah, early 70s. Yeah, that was the one. It was, someone could Google it. Spielberg. It was like Convoy. No, that was an actual movie, Convoy. Vanishing Point. I know that one. Yeah. All right. Well, ready to go?
I believe so. There was, I just looked it up. Was it Duel? Is that what it was?
Doesn't ring a bell.
But it says right there, Neil White says Duel is the Spielberg movie.
It is, hey?
That's what he's saying.
It's just got family in a station wagon versus this big truck. I don't see how that's a duel, but yeah, I think that's what they called it. If Neil White says it is, he's probably right.
Yeah.
He doesn't mess around, Neil White.
No.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
So Rick, do I have to write you a permission slip to get next 2 weeks from now?
Well, buddy, I live my life by my Team Snap. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's an app.
Great app.
It tells you when you have your hockey practices. So every time you tell me we have a live, I go on Team Snap, and sure enough, it's conflict after conflict. But I only have dates now till October 8th. And then I've got Flames seasons tickets too. So that...
I know, but you can sell... I mean, come on. You can sell that thing.
Watch yourself now. This is going to be an...
We have a fairly new team. We have to catch them in the flesh.
Yeah, like 2 of our greatest stars we've had in the last decade left us this summer. But they've brought in...
back to the championship game like you were last year.
Well, we didn't quite make it to the we did make it to the playoffs, and I think we'll make it to the playoffs again. National Lampoon Vacation is a great car movie. Yeah, there are some interesting car moments in it. But the one where they had the No.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, sort of a car movie. Interesting.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I heard something about that car. I can't remember. They used Gumball Rally. I don't think I've seen that one. You guys really need to check out Cannonball Run if you can get it. It's probably got nothing but swears and smoking and bad references. It was so 80s. But Gone in 60 Seconds was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was before Nick Cage was a joke.
Yeah.
He was getting to be a joke, but...
Yeah, that reminds me, we played that one in the... I think that was our second drive-in we ever did, and that was well received. That was so cool.
There's a car movie. It was a bunch of guys who would steal cars, and they were stealing Porsches, and Charlie Sheen was in it. And Charlie Sheen had this bag. He would go down Rodeo Drive with like a Prada bag, and that would hide all of his car tools. Come on, help me out, guys. What was that movie? It was Charlie Sheen. Was it Gone in 60 Seconds? And they would heist, and it was all these Porsche 911s. That's all they stole was 911s. Was that Gone in 60 Seconds?
Was it No Man's Land? I'm just kind of Googling some stuff here.
I think it was.
Yeah, because No Man's Land has a Porsche in the title, so I'm...
Yeah, that was an awesome one.
First I've heard of that one.
Yeah. I know more about car movies than I thought I did.
Yeah. Oh, Ford versus Ferrari. Yes, can't forget about that one. I
haven't seen it yet.
That's a new one. Yeah, if you can watch that with a really good sound system, it's pretty special.
I have terrible sound on my TV. Yeah. 2-lane blacktop, James Taylor duel. Next Friday's cast is what?
Edie, have a good night.
Okay.
That's some copyright strike right there. That's what that is.
Yeah, you definitely. Risky business, yes. So recently, the 928 that Tom Cruise learned how to drive stick was from the Risky. They had 3 928s on that show. One was just a shell. That's the one that went in the water. But the one on the show that did all the driving sold for $1 million at Barrett Jackson about a year ago. Or was it $500,000? It was incredible. What a car!
Large sums of money either way. Yeah,
I love the 928.
It's a good car.
They're all just so old now, though, and so like they're just people didn't save those; they drove those.
Yeah. I remember Jeremy Clarkson had an interesting story with the 928 when because I know it was on one of the clips from Top Gear. He was saying that his dad was really ill, and his mom had called him, and he actually drove over 2 hours at 170 miles an hour to get to his dad. He made a 2-hour drive in about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and he got to see him just before he passed away. So he has a connection to that car.
Yeah. Italian Job was good. That was with the minis. The Transporter.
Transporters were good. I like those movies.
You driving an Audi A8 or an A6? I can't remember which it was.
Big car.
The car sounded so good in that. Blues Brothers, classic. Yeah. I think at some point I knew every word to that movie.
Oh, jeez.
And we're on a mission from God. it's only said once or twice in the movie, but you would think from all the references it gets, it was said more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this makes me want to go on a reel. Dazed and Confused. Yeah, he had the Chevelle, I believe.
Yeah.
That was Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, Transporter 1, 2, and 3. You know what's cool is one of my best friends just secured a role on season 2 of Reacher.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's the series based on the books. Jack Reacher. He's the colonel who puts Reacher out on all his different missions. So he's starting to film that. He's coming to see me next week. He's coming out to Calgary for a bit. See his dad. His dad's turning 80.
Oh wow.
Corvette Summer. I think it's Corvette Fever, isn't it? Or is it Corvette Summer, Derek? That's the one with that terrible body kit. Oh my God, man. There was a time in the late 70s where cars were so ridiculous, and I blame the guy. He's a Barris. What's his name? Fred Barris? He did such terrible things to cars, but Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. Yeah, if you like DeLoreans. It put DeLorean on the map.
Oh, absolutely. That
would be like in the 80s, the DeLorean would be the last page of every exotic car's picture book.
Mm-hmm.
God. I still have all those. Yeah. Corvette Summer. Huh. Wanted an Audi A8 W12 after watching Transporter. Yeah.
That's a big car and a big engine.
My neighbor had a friend over the other day, and he had a black S8 with the V10.
Yeah.
S8. Black, and I couldn't find a swirl mark on the car. And
really?
That car's got to be close to 20 years old now.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I've seen, there's a silver one in town around that same generation, and I don't know the condition of it. I haven't seen it in a little bit, but those were such big cars.
Yeah, it's either a one owner taken care of, or it's been passed around and
taken care of.
So, Neil, why would you put up Adventures in Babysitting? You're a fan of that family station wagon? Or was there a preppy kid who had a Porsche or something in that one? When they went to the... I love that movie, by the way. She was my childhood crush. You? Oh, man. Iron Man, Audi A8, Gran Torino, station wagon. So Drive, that was the one with John Travolta, wasn't it?
Drive.
Didn't do well. It was, I think it was based on Formula One.
Okay.
Yeah, it flopped. And then every 007 car chase, yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for kicking around, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fun.
Levi seems to be a good guy. I think hopefully his career...
He likes to be good.
Hopefully this live stream helped him, kickstart his career.
Yep.
Did we get 50 likes? Do I have to shoot Dane a message?
We have 53 likes.
Oh, we did get 50, huh? Nice.
So, but that's a... don't hold your breath. Yeah. That's a very rookie number.
So when I check my analytics after doing one of these lives, I think I told Mike this once, I usually have a net loss of subscribers.
Like, hopefully not this time.
I don't get that. Why you would, you know what? I'm not this guy. I'm out of here. But maybe they tuned in thinking they were going to see a therapy video, and then they saw a bunch of talking heads. But I usually lose a few subscribers.
People are wanting to see you foamed, Rick.
I'm not doing this to be YouTube famous. I'm doing this because I love connecting with you guys.
Yep. Definitely appreciate the opportunity. It was fun.
Well, yeah, your career's starting to take off.
A little bit. It's, yeah.
Are you
trying to stay humble with it?
You got winter tires ready?
They're ready to go. We we did break a heat record.
I know.
Down here in Lethbridge earlier this week. It was like 31. Like I've been alternating furnace and air conditioning sometimes in the same day. I don't love that, but that's like, I mean, September's usually a real big wild card, as you know.
Yeah. And this year it was the hottest month of the summer.
Yeah.
And just beautiful, just beautiful. I was camping Monday night and Tuesday night with my grade 7s.
Nice.
Our school has a piece of property in the Kananaskis area.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. It was hot.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we were in the forest though, because we got back to town, and just waiting for the bus to drop off the luggage, I was like, this is sweltering. But I've got good news on the winter tire front. So the last detail I did of the year, I'm putting that money towards my winter tires, because the people who own the black car actually own the tire shop, Tuner Works. So I'm going to pick up my new R5 Hakkapelitas by Nokian. They're all mounted and ready to go. I'll make a little video about it.
Beautiful.
So do we get a video on you swapping tires out on the...
That's what it'll be. Yeah. So the video I've already shot some footage before of me taking my old ones down. Thanks to YouTube, I realized that the Nokians I had were worn out. To me, they looked okay, but in a video, some people commented those look trashed. So that got me thinking, I better get these checked out. And when I took them in, the guy's like, "Oh, these are trashed." And I was like, wow, but they did get me 5 winters.
That's a lot, especially when, like we talked about, it's 90% dry for most of it. It's
like
that 10% of real spiciness that you need it.
Yeah, and I don't drive slow in the winter either. Like I love the Quattro. But yeah, I'm excited to get those. And yeah, Mike, it'll finish with me quick jacking my car up and putting them on. And I bet I will get them on mid-October, and that's probably when the snow will fly.
Yep. Just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, if Halloween can be mild, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, big time.
Remember as a kid, Alex, some years it was minus 31 and you still went out.
Yeah, I would purposely dress up as a snowboarder just so I could wear my, snow pants and jacket. And the kids would always buy their costume. Like, you couldn't find an XL kids costume because every kid bought them that has their snowsuit underneath of it. Yeah. And like their pillowcase would be frozen with candy.
And for some reason, I remember grade 7 Halloween, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Yep.
And then there were other times where it was like so cold. You never know what you're going to get with September and October.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Well, we'll have to bring Mike up during the winter because the poor guy's never seen snow.
I've never seen snowfall.
I want to throw you in the snow. I want to snow you.
Snow angel.
You're going to get a snow job.
Ooh.
No,
I think maybe some tubing at Lake Louise would be in the cards.
Yeah, we can't put him on skis.
Tubing, get some hail base. It's a controlled stop.
I can't go on skis because I am broken.
Yeah, we know.
So
I do have court date on the. I do finally have a judge that I should take my court date now. 2 weeks on the 14th.
I thought that was all settled. I thought you were.
No. I only got one small tick. That was only a small one.
Oh, boy.
Big check. November would be 7 years. Still waiting.
Interesting.
Yeah, the courts move swiftly on some things, but not on others.
Yeah. So I can actually finally get my settlement money now.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping to get
Will you continue when you do? Will you continue at the pace you are going with car detailing?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Believe it or not, the bus company was extremely underinsured.
So what you're saying is the settlement you do end up getting will mean you'll still have to work hard.
Yeah. I'm probably only going to get around $4 million.
So you get to keep it all, or like?
Yeah, I get to keep it.
So why would you need, if you've got $4 million, why would you need to detail cars twice a week?
Because he has to have every product.
California before?
What's that?
You ever bought a house in California before?
I
buying a house in California ain't cheap.
I like this stuff.
It's gone. I'm impressed. I don't know if it's enough to convert you, but
no, it's a bit chalky at the end.
Okay.
So yeah, I remember I met a guy in 2000 when I was teaching overseas from San Francisco, and I thought he was lying when he said the average home price in San Francisco at that time was $1,000,000.
Yep.
Because at that time, $1,000,000 in my hometown, 2000 would have bought you any mansion you could find. So it's got to be more than that now.
Oh yeah.
Do you own the home you're in, or do you
No.
rent?
I rent.
You rent. Do a lot of people rent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People rent here, but they don't rent usually as a family. Well, I shouldn't say that. I run in a circle where most people own a home.
Yeah.
But if you're in your 20s, you might rent a condo or an apartment just because you don't care about owning a home.
Mm-hmm.
And for $1,000,000 in Calgary, you can buy pretty much any home anywhere.
Mhm.
Yep.
A few neighborhoods that are more than that, but $1,000,000 here goes a long, long way.
I mean, I could move to another state and probably live like a king,
Yeah.
but my sister moved to Florida. But look what happened to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to move to Carolina, but look what happened to Carolina. But I could move to Tennessee, but I like to live somewhere near water. So
Yeah.
I got to think about where I want to go.
Well, at least you Americans have options.
Oh,
Sure.
you have options too?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No. I'm Calgarian. What are my options? I'm not moving to Edmonton.
Well, you can go to Montreal.
I could go to Montreal, but
you don't want to. I mean, if you want nice weather, you don't really want to go to Victoria because that's way too expensive.
It's all old people.
Yep, lots of old people.
You can go. Someone just built a shop over there. Who's that geek guy? He just built a shop. I'm sure he'll be looking for somebody.
That's
I couldn't live in Saskatchewan just because the winters are so long and cold.
It's worse. If we thought Calgary and just south are bad, then Saskatchewan's much worse.
But we have nowhere where we can escape winter except Vancouver. And then we're like you, Mike. $4,000,000 buys you nothing.
It gets you a fridge box on the side of the road.
Exactly.
So,
and it rains there months and months of the year.
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah,
Ken's
our winters are very short here.
Ken's got probably the only solution, and I think the Okanagan Valley.
Yeah,
but it can get hot, and Ken knows this more than anyone. The fires start to impact my like we get smoke in August, September from the forest fires out west. It blows right in over Calgary, and that depresses me. So I can't imagine also dealing with being close to these fires.
Yeah. I have a few friends in Penticton, and so often during the summertime, it's the mountain across from them, is on fire, and they're trying to get it out as quickly as they can, and they're pretty much always on the ready to leave for a month and a half out of the summer. It's kind of wild.
Mm-hmm.
This is another good point Andrew makes. Nova Scotia has blown up. As far as I know, I think it's one of these situations where people are like, stop moving here. We don't have any hospitals. We don't have the infrastructure for all of you.
Yeah.
I've been looking at the Carolinas, either North or South Carolina.
Yeah.
And, 30 to 45 minutes away from the ocean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be fine with that.
Southern charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's so many beautiful places in the States where you can have just a beautiful life, and it doesn't have to be in a city.
Yeah. I like to be something close to a city to where my SEO can reach it.
Yeah.
And I can still have my 3-car garage. I want a 3-car garage where the side of the house I can still have a metal shed or metal canopy to where I can still wash. I just, I have ideas, and I want the ideas to work.
I had a friend who, out of university, went down to San Diego to get his chiropractor. He became a chiropractor, and he started a practice in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Did very well for years, sold it. Now he lives in Bend, Oregon, and skis 6 months a year.
Wow.
Loves it. He loves Bend, Oregon.
I've heard a lot of people liking Bend, Oregon.
That's where the last Blockbuster. There's still a Blockbuster, apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
maybe
close.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I'd put it on the map.
Oh, beautiful.
And I got also think I gotta see if my body can hold up. My body's not holding up very well either, so I gotta see if my body can even hold up 2-3 more years of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the headaches. The headaches are really getting bad.
It's a lot of hard work for sure. I don't envy the details to do this full time.
I just think breathing in chemicals and that too is something I often think about for our professional friends.
Yep. Well, even
everything's got its hazards, right? But
even I've seen the improvements in the health and safety just in the body shop industry, because I remember, tying back to Levi, stories with him on the podcast was saying that he knew of guys in body shops back in the 90s and 2000s that there was no safety involved. They're sanding, breathing, yelling, all this stuff, and it turns into some brain issues down the road, and it's which could have been prevented by wearing a respirator doing those jobs. And I just couldn't imagine. I mean, we had a neighbor that did like some painting out of his garage, and just going in there, the smells were intense, and I couldn't imagine a big shop with, even if ventilation wasn't that great. But it's it can't be easy whatsoever.
Yeah. I look back on things I've done as a young man and wonder what kind of price I'll pay for that. Like, right. I remember I came across a moldy car. There was some mold under the mat, but I had to get the car done in an hour, so I was in there just
giving it
mold spores. Like, like, when am I going to start feeling that effect? And I was sanding my garage door last summer, and I was thinking, how much of the cedar did I take right in?
Yeah. Interesting.
My wife's giving me texts. She's mad because she's watching my son practice hockey, and he won't drink out of his water bottle.
Oh, geez.
These are the things.
Yep.
And someone's texting on. I don't want this night to end, guys. This has been a lot of fun. It's like I have friends.
Yeah, our Thursday night hockey started back up. A bunch of guys getting some ice time, and
it's awesome.
It was nice because we were all at the exact same level. None of us had skated for about 7 to 8 months.
Good.
And
you don't need that one hot shot who played in the dub.
The
rest of you look bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a few of those guys that either played university hockey or the dub, and they just think they're the next.
Well, they are.
Oh yeah, and they get super excited when they get past me. That I go out for the fun and the exercise, and if I score a goal, it's a plus.
Oh yeah, I really wish I was part of a men's league. I have no excuse other than just pure laziness.
Right.
And I hear about the ice times in Calgary that these guys are having.
Yeah.
It's like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, ours is 10:30.
Yeah.
And that's,
so on what day of the week? What day of the week is that?
Thursday night. So I mean, if you have it's not so bad. And if you have a tame Friday at work, it's not horrible.
Yeah. You're close to the weekend, so you can,
exactly. Yeah. But if that was like a Tuesday going into Wednesday, oh man, no way.
Dude,
but
I get it. Like if I get Flames tickets for a Tuesday 8:00 game in the middle of winter, I almost just don't want to. I'll go, but only because I know I can't give those tickets away. Other guys are like, no.
We're trying to get tickets for the Pittsburgh game when they're in town.
Pittsburgh.
So
let me see if I got that.
The girlfriend's a big Pittsburgh fan. So I think it's in November. I think, or no, October. Calgary's in Pittsburgh in November, but Pittsburgh I think is here in October.
Yeah, Penguins. I don't have that game. That's Tuesday, October 25th. That's a hard ticket to get. And what's crazy about that is you'll see more kids gathered around the Penguins end of the ice during the warm-up skate,
100%.
just trying to get a glimpse of Crosby. Like the guy's, he's getting up there. But he is still the biggest draw. Yeah. Well, I'd say McDavid is. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
The pride of Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, Sidney Crosby himself. He's not had an easy career. It's been a lot of injuries, but he's good off the ice too. I think
He's an amazing guy.
And
yeah,
I mean, if you're a Canadian kid that was playing hockey in the early 2000s or even now, like who he is, it's kind of hard to not know. But just even though he may not have the same numbers as some of the big points and goal scorers, just his hockey skill.
And what he does, how he pushes others. Like if you've played with 100%. Him, you're a better player. So I'm just going to indulge myself here. I'm going to name the games I have this year, and you guys tell me which game you would want.
Yep.
We're going to start in October. I got the Knights. I got the Hurricanes. I got the Oilers. And then my son and I are going up to Edmonton to catch an Oilers-Flames game.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Devils. I got the Panthers, which will be fun because I'll get to see the return of Matthew Tkachuk.
Be lots of booing.
Oh, yeah. Not as much as I think when Gaudreau comes back.
No. That'll. Do you have that one?
Let me check. I got the Coyotes, which is oh, hold on. I'm reading the wrong ones. I'm so sorry. Kraken. So November, I got Kraken, Predators, Jets, and Kings. I don't have the Panthers game. My buddy has them. But I have the Canadians, Capitals, Wild, and Canucks in December.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get to see Ovechkin, and I'll get to see Sean Monahan return, hopefully.
Yep.
So then that takes us to January, where I have the Avalanche, the champs.
Mm-hmm.
God, they're good.
Cool.
They're so good. I love Cale Makar and McKinnon.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Blue Jackets, so I get to see the return of Johnny Gaudreau on Monday, January 23rd. He's going to get so booed.
Yeah, that's
so booed.
Yeah. He's going to want to either change really fast and get out of there or just wait.
But typical Canadians, what we'll do, though, is during the second period, they'll probably put a little video montage together and we'll cheer for him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he gets back on the ice, we'll boo him.
Yeah.
I got the Red Wings, who are they really retooled this year.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Bruins. They're pretty good. They didn't make the playoffs, though. Senators, they've really
that should be good.
Anteed up.
Yep.
The Stars, who bore me. I can't stand the Stars. And the Sharks, Mike. I'm going to see a Sharks game in March.
We're going to do that a friendly bet.
Yeah. Hey, did I get my money from you?
You sure did.
Okay.
Of course.
Blackhawks. Oof. They are hurting.
Yeah.
They're like, I watched Moneyball the other night with my son because he wants to be a DM. So I thought, you better watch Moneyball. Yeah. The Blackhawks remind me of the A's when they lost all their stars, and the only two guys they have are getting so old. And then I got two Sharks games, Mike.
Oh, good. We can do twice.
One in March and one in April, and then it'll be the playoffs. So that's my winter. It's the only thing that keeps winter. That and my son's hockey.
Yeah.
Make winter actually enjoyable.
I think going to Edmonton will be cool. I've heard nothing but positive things with that new arena.
Oh, the arena's going to be amazing. I'm a bit nervous on how Edmonton Oilers fans will react because I tend to be abrasive in my own rink. I think people get mad at me even when I'm cheering for the same team as them. So I'm pretty loud. I can whistle really loud.
Yeah. A friend of mine that's an Avalanche fan, him and his coworker who's also an Avalanche fan, they drove up to Edmonton for the game where they clinched the Western Conference, and that was a pretty special game. Like, that would have sucked if they lost going all that way for that, but they had a lot of fun.
Andrew, where did Chara go after the Bruins? Because I know he's retired now, but he had a weird season somewhere, didn't he? Didn't he go to
See, but Chara signed a one-day deal with the Bruins to retire as a Bruin.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Which a lot of them do.
Yeah.
I know Iggy did that with the Flames.
Yep.
But where did Chara go when he left the Bruins?
I don't remember.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I don't really. That guy's the tallest guy to ever play in the NHL.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is an interesting point Chris makes about hockey should shorten the postseason. No reason hockey finals shouldn't be in the end of May, start of June. It does drag out, especially when it's not your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, did you know baseball, Mike? If it goes to extra innings in baseball now, do you know what they do?
Yes.
It's cool.
What do they do?
It's not cool?
I hate it.
They put a runner on second base.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So you got a runner on scoring position with no outs.
The guy that made the last out in the last inning will then be at second base on the next inning.
Oh, say that again. So the guy who made the last out?
Yes. The guy that made the last out in the last inning will then be at second base in the next inning.
Oh. Yeah, I've never really been a baseball fan. And I don't know if it's just because like there's no clock, so you can't really have a time frame of how it's like a game could be an hour and a half or it could be 4.5 hours.
No.
No, you know what? Baseball for me, when I retire, that will become a passion. Like I already like it.
Yeah.
But I think that's why people like it. It's like I'm going to sit down and the game is the game.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere. If I'm here for 2.5 hours, great. If I'm here for 4.5 hours, well,
yeah, so be it.
They're trying to speed the game up. So like when they bring a reliever in, the reliever can't come in for one pitch for one batter. They have to come in for minimum 3 batters.
Yeah, because that would really slow the game down because you'd have to have a lefty to face the righty, and he'd need 20 warm-up pitches. Yeah. Plus a lot of commercials, right? So when you're watching it, there's a lot of commercials. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
But whenever a sport, especially baseball, steeped in tradition, starts messing with the rules, I could see people getting all worked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good night, Ryan. We're going to be here all night. I might just ramble to myself. I got that Pepsi. Does that have extra caffeine or something? Like I don't
know.
Did you put extra sugar in there or something?
It's the aspartame kick.
That's what it is. Yeah. So
you got that Coke there. Open that Coke up next.
Oh God, I'll be up for 3 days if I have a Coke at this point.
Get to the next live stream, huh?
Capitals. Is that where Charo went? Right. He signed with Washington. A team I don't ever see unless they come to town once a year. I don't follow them. Oh, someone's talking about this sport I know nothing about. I think they call it football.
Man U and City tomorrow.
That's definitely football. That's definitely soccer.
Manchester United and Manchester City. Yeah.
Do you know did Ryan Reynolds buy a football team?
I don't know.
Or is that just a movie I saw? Him and a buddy. I appreciate soccer. I get it. But as far as a spectator sport, unless I think you grew up with it, and
I think it's hard.
The true nuances of it all. Like my friend Chris at work, he can watch a football game and he'll talk to me about what's happening. He took me to we have the Cavalry here in Calgary. He took me to one. Oh, it was a neat experience. It's a beautiful place to be on a nice fall day, but it just doesn't.
Yeah, I did.
Up with it.
I did follow the Canadian women's team in the Olympics for soccer because they won.
Yeah,
and that was pretty cool. And I mean, soccer for girls in Canada has blown up over the past couple of Olympics. So 10 years maybe? You know, it's really cool.
A lot of
Canada's in the World Cup in November. That's what Andrew Goodwin's saying.
Well, I remember about 10 years ago, I heard things about like get your girl in soccer so she could get a U.S. scholarship.
Yep.
I've
heard a few going down for that.
Because up here, Mike, we don't have full sports scholarships like you guys do.
Oh, no?
I don't know why, but we don't. University sports in Canada are not I think they're empty gymnasiums. I don't think anyone really goes and watches.
No, it's
too bad. I'd love to. I went to university. I went to 2 universities in Calgary, and I never once took in a sporting event.
Well, I know Mike Babcock. He coached the Pronghorns down here, the University of Lethbridge team, for a number of years, and then he went on to the NHL. So he has some connections to here, and they were a good team. And I had thought about going to university hockey. You know, I had a cousin that played Canadian university hockey, and he did all right. But yeah, that's not as big as the U.S. I mean, even some of the U.S. the college football stadiums, they're so packed. I feel like it's a bigger deal than the NFL from some of the games.
There's more fans. You go to Syracuse game, there'll be 100,000 fans there.
Yeah, It's nuts.
And those athletes are playing for free, really.
Yeah.
No more.
Some of the highest paid university employees are the football coaches at a lot of those big schools.
Absolutely.
You guys are making multi-million coaching the soccer program.
Yeah.
Well, in college now, or the college is starting to change it now to where you can get endorsements now.
Oh, yeah? Well, good.
Yeah.
Or not. I don't know. What do you think? Is that good or not?
Well, kind of, because, I mean, I think it's good because, I mean,
they're going to have to keep their...
The college is already sucking up so much money. I mean, why can't the college player get some of that money as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
the students got to keep their grades up either way. So,
I mean, if they want to give you a tennis shoe, get you a goddamn tennis shoe.
Or like, I know a lot of, like, I watch a lot of those like documentaries about college sports, and you know, like the cheering. You guys ever watch Cheer?
No.
Well, there's a college in the States, I think it's Texas or something, and they're not a great college. They're like Div 3, but when it comes to cheering, they're like the best in the country consistently. But the kids that are doing it are eating Ichiban every night, living in these like squalor apartments.
Yeah.
And they bring in like a lot of revenue for these colleges and stuff. And it's like, I'm not going to say it's like servitude. Like you are, anyway.
Yeah.
We don't have that up here in Canada. If you play college sports here, no one cares.
Yeah, basically.
But I would love if my kid was able to play hockey, let's say at a university level. What a great way to just enjoy university. Could you imagine being on a team?
100%.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the comments have definitely cheer is like throwing money away to me. Yeah, I don't know where it all leads to. Some like I've got a friend who has 3 daughters, all in high level volleyball.
Oh yeah,
and he's like paying thousands and thousands of dollars for his kids to be in part of this. And where does it lead?
Yeah,
there's no pro league.
No,
you know,
I mean, you might make the Olympics, but like I wouldn't even know where to start to get in the Olympics for volleyball.
Well, and like how many people are on a volleyball team? Like, good luck making the team. We have 6 players.
Yeah, exactly. So
the hardest team at my junior high school to get on is the badminton team, because we only take 10 kids.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So if you spend your whole life working at this one sport.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you have to go pro to enjoy playing a sport, but
yeah, exactly.
When it costs you thousands of dollars, it's not like you're gonna,
you want a bit of return on investment.
Like, it's not like a ski jumper is gonna say, "Hey, you want to? Hey, Alex, Mike, you guys want to go ski jumping with me today?
Yeah,
we'll do the 70 meter."
Yeah,
like, it's sort of like you train so specific, like bobsledding.
Yeah.
Why?
And luge, skeleton.
Why?
All the sliding sports. Yeah.
For the one time every 4 years, and then what do you do with the rest of your life? Like,
I love when skeleton became a thing, because it's like, well, let's go feet first and luge, and then let's have someone lay on top of us and luge to have doubles, and let's go face first now.
Yeah.
And hope we don't
call it a new sport.
Yeah.
Oh, Winter Olympics. Canadians love Winter Olympics.
Going face first would be fun.
Oh, I can't even go on those rides. Like, you could go up to COP. I live right by where they did the Olympics in '88, and you could go down the track. I think the thing has wheels in the summer. I can't do it. You go 110 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
In this little no thanks. No thanks.
Yeah. I remember going to COP as a kid to the ski hill, and when the ski jumpers would be training, and you'd be sharing a chair with them, and they'd be in their little like neoprene bodysuit and with the 10 feet long skis. And I'm like, you ask them, it's like, what possesses you to do this?
Yeah, even at 10, you were like, so where is this taking you in the future?
Exactly. I wish I would have got their names to see if they went anywhere, but
I had a friend used to work at our school. He was the PE teacher, and he was a very accomplished wrestler. Came from
Okay.
Saskatchewan, moved out to Calgary. He went to the 2004 Olympics, I think. Was that Sydney?
Okay. Sydney
And,
was 2004 was.
It was 2000. He went to
Oh,
Sydney.
Sydney? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
he did
2000.
okay. He didn't medal, obviously, or I'd introduce him as my medal winning. But
Yeah.
he said wrestling was a tough world because the countries that love wrestling
Yeah.
are not necessarily countries with exotic locations. So he would wrestle in like Estonia.
Okay.
If you're going to pick a sport that doesn't take you to Estonia.
Mm-hmm.
Some other gray countries, where it's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah.
Oh, we have a comment. Bret Hart, best Canadian.
Calgarian.
Yep.
I met a lot of the Harts. Keith and Bruce were both education majors when I was doing my education degree.
Yep.
A little bit older than me. And I used to drive past the Hart Mansion. I'm actually up in the part of town now where the mansion's still here, but it used to be like one of the only homes up here. And I remember driving past once when I just got my driver's license, and there was probably 100 70s four-door cars in the just surrounding the whole mansion. The whole place looked like hell.
So cool.
And
oh man.
So Keith Hart was a substitute in grade 9, and we had a field trip. So I sat at the back of the bus with Bruce Hart, Keith Hart, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him all these questions about wrestling because I was really into wrestling at the time. And every wrestler that I loved had trained in the basement of the Hart Mansion.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, what about King Kong Bundy? King Kong Bundy? You remember him? He's a huge guy.
Oh, yeah, I remember King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, he trained with us. And like they all trained here. All those early stars all trained in the basement of that mansion. They had a ring down there. And it was amazing being able to pick his brain. Actually, a rabbit hole I went down was A&E has a lot of documentaries now about the lives of these wrestlers.
Okay, interesting.
And the one I watched was, what's the guy? Lex Luger. Remember him?
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, I was a little bit out of wrestling by the time he made it big, but he was part of the whole shift from WWFE to Sunday Night Raw, WCW. But yeah, I was shocked. I didn't know this. He was dating Elizabeth. They were sneaking around, him and Lex Luger and Miss Elizabeth. And then in real life, they were a couple. And she died of an overdose on his couch. I was shocked. I didn't know she died. I'd say half of them are gone now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, there's certainly quite a few.
Well, yeah, Hogan, he's still hanging in there. Mm-hmm. I saw him front row in grade 9. My friend's sister got us tickets. She worked at Eaton's Ticketmaster.
Interesting.
And he was the headliner against Adrian Adonis.
Yeah.
And Adrian Adonis sprayed perfume into Hulk's eyes. He fell out of the ring right in front of us. Wow. And he grabbed the stanchion and lifted himself up, and he grabbed my Coke. And he splashed it in his face to get the chemicals out.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed the cup. And he jumped back in the ring and did the whole, and won the match. And I was just staring at my cup.
It's like, where's my Coke now? I've been robbed. A $17 Coke.
I've told this story about bullying to my students every year I've taught. On the C train home, everyone was gathered around me and the cup, and we're reliving every moment. And this mean kid, and I know his name, but I'm not going to blast him.
Yeah.
I remember his name. He came up and he's like, "What's going on?" And one of my friends was like, "Well, Rick saved the day with his Coke." and I'm like, "Oh, shut up. Don't tell him."
Yeah.
And then this kid goes, "Let me see it." And I'm like, "No, man, it's not, you don't need to see it." And then he threatened me, and I let him see it, and he crushed it, threw it down on the ground, walked away. And I was like, I wonder if he knows I still remember that.
I would hope so. We'll see.
I doubt he does. He probably did that kind of stuff all the time.
It's funny how I remember the little things, But
His name was Alex Dewar.
can't stand that guy.
Rowdy Roddy Piper, he was awesome.
He's dead too.
Yep, and he trained in Calgary.
Yep, he trained in Piper's. Yeah.
So I used to go to Stampede Wrestling with my dad Saturday nights down at the fairgrounds, and it was wild. Honky Tonk Man was the meanest wrestler. He went into the WWE for a while. He didn't do so hot there.
Yeah, he did. WWE. Yeah, he was the.
He did okay, didn't he? Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah. It's funny because those wrestlers weren't even built. They were just like regular men. Like no one had abs. No one had abs like some of the big stars. But there was one time I went with my friends and we stayed outside. And as they were leaving, we saw Honky Tonk Man, and he was a bad guy. So we started lipping him off. We were probably using some words we shouldn't have used, and he started to chase us. And we ran like the Dickens. And one of my friends was like, "He's going to kill us." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Like we actually thought he would kill us.
Right.
I wonder what he would have done if he caught us. Because nowadays,
the forever
mystery.
mystery.
And go ahead. I need the money.
Mm-hmm.
Jake the Snake, yeah.
Yep. Coco Beware. I like Coco Beware.
So Coco Beware, he was the bird.
Black guy with the what? Hallelujah.
He was like bird. Do you remember like when wrestling first started, they would only have a star fight a nobody.
Yeah.
Like on like that we called it Maple Leaf Wrestling. You would see Leaping Lanny Poffo, this other guy named Mike Steele. They were like the best of the nobodies, and they would just come out and get pummeled by a star. And then they came out with Saturday Night Main Event where the stars fought stars. And I used to stay up till midnight watching that.
Wow.
Yeah. Smash a guitar over your head. That's exactly what we thought he would do. And he got into a 1979 Ford LTD, probably worth $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what? He's a wrestling star. But these guys made nothing those early days.
Yep. You kind of forget that too. It's kind of wild.
Iron Mike Sharp. Yeah, that's right. Ms. PCG and I seem to have had very similar lives. Roid Rage. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember Leaping Lanny Poffo became a poet. And he would read a poem at the beginning of his match, and then he would throw on a frisbee, and he'd throw the frisbee into the crowd, and everyone would throw the frisbee back.
Oh, so polite.
What an insult! Someone likes your hat. What's going on with your hat?
Oh, that's Terry is T4 Detailing.
Okay.
T4 Detailing. Oh,
okay. I like hats, Terry. Come on, look at this guy like me. I need hats.
You do have quite the hat collection.
It is coming along. Yeah, we're probably in the same age category. All right. Well,
hey, listen, you're not in Terry's age category.
No,
not
Terry. This other one, Ms. PCG.
Oh yeah, because Terry's retired by a long ways.
Well, good for him.
He came by last week and helped. He came by and helped me do that. I had that Ford Galaxy I did last week.
Okay.
That thing was a tank. I barely got that thing in the garage, and he came by and he just wanted to come by and help me out, and it was pretty cool. And he's 65, I think.
Yeah,
but he details Monday through Friday. He's got the weekends off.
This is Terry?
Terry, yep.
Terry Foreman. Hey, how's your business going, Mike?
Mine's going pretty good.
Good.
I only detail the weekends.
And the rest of the time you're packing boxes?
Yeah, well, I'm a building inspector Monday through Friday,
right.
But lately, construction in California is so busy. I've been pushing almost 50 hours lately for the past I don't know, 2 months. I've been getting a lot of overtime. And
Wow.
I try not to work overtime, and I've been working a lot of overtime.
So there's a construction boom going on?
It's, yeah, kind of. And yeah, there is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's brutal here with you try to get any trade at all to do anything here, good luck. It's
kind of like that here too.
yeah.
I mean, well, it's kind of like trying to get anybody to do anything. It's good luck, because at one point California was handing out free money, so it was kind of hard to get somebody to get to work, because the free money was easier to get than it was to get to work.
Right.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of. I don't know. They say there's all these labor shortages. I don't know how people cannot just work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that.
I know, because there are a few people that are trying to tell me, like, I can't find a job, and I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I'm like, if you can't find a job, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I walk into Home Depot, there's like, scan this barcode, we're hiring. I walk into Walmart, scan this barcode, we're hiring. I go through the drive-through of Jack in the Box, scan this barcode, we're hiring. No matter where I go, scan this barcode, we're hiring. I can't go nowhere without scan this barcode, we're hiring. I mean, I go to the damn grocery store, they're hiring. So.
Right.
True, I could almost hire somebody here a bit. I just don't want to, though. But
I think a lot of it here is that kids don't work anymore.
Yep.
Yeah,
like you used to go into a convenience store, grocery store.
Yeah,
it was all like 18 to 22-year-olds. Now it's like,
yeah,
I don't know if it's worth it for a kid to work. Oh, I say that like I worked.
Yep.
I spent a little bit too much
back then.
I spent a little bit too much time at my $4 an hour job when I probably should have been hitting the books a little harder.
Yeah.
You didn't have internet back then, though.
No, we did not.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You didn't have cell phones back then either.
Nope.
You didn't have an Xbox back then.
Nope.
Yeah, that's everybody has that now. That's the difference.
Yeah,
I remember in like the grade 9 or 10 when you were, around 14, 15 when you could work. People work because it was something to kind of brag about. It's like, oh, I got to go to work after school.
Well, having a job was legit.
Yeah. And it was, and I agree, Rick. Especially down here, there's a lot of these jobs that, whether it be fast food restaurants or convenience stores or even like smaller retail outlets that, you'd expect the 18 to 22-year-olds to be at during school, or, like in Lethbridge, it's a big university town, and, even seeing those students at those places, and you don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot less of it no matter where you go.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Even at restaurants, like they literally will put a curtain up now, shutting half the restaurant down because they don't have enough people to supply,
right,
to even have that other half of that restaurant even to be open.
Interesting.
They don't even have enough waitresses for it.
Yeah.
So instead of having 40 tables open up, they'll block 20 of them out because they don't have enough waitresses or enough cooks to for it all.
So in Canada during COVID, certain people qualified for this thing called CERB, Emergency Fund.
Yeah, emergency relief benefit or something like that.
Yeah, it was like $2,000 a month.
Yep.
A lot of them then realized they got letters saying you got to pay tax on that.
Yep.
But even that, like that ended a long time ago.
Yeah, it sure did.
But maybe if you were 23 and living at home and you banked 18 grand in 9 months, maybe you're just living off that
Yep.
But yeah, Mike, we don't have curtains going down the restaurants, but today I went to PetSmart to get my dog a new harness.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's 2 people working in the whole store.
And that's not a small store to be doing that. Holy smokes.
God, I hate pet stores. Oh.
Yeah, and there's certainly a lot more people taking advantage of Skip the Dishes or Uber Eats down in the States and the food delivery services.
Yeah.
My neighbor, I swear it's almost every day that they get something delivered.
So I had a run-in with a Skip the Dishes driver the other day.
Oh, yeah. Another one.
I
remember you telling me a story about a while ago.
Well, one of them dented my door, but I didn't catch him.
Yeah.
But I was in the shawarma place waiting for my shawarma, waiting to order, actually.
Okay.
And again, I think they were down a couple guys.
Mm-hmm.
And this Skip the Dishes driver comes in and just walks right to the front of the line.
Oh,
right?
Of course.
Opens his red bag like he's a big VIP. And the one person manning the till was working with this lady, and he interrupted her and said, "I need my order. I need my order. 1228, 1228."
Yeah.
And I was about 4 people back, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, we're all here getting food. You're no more important than anybody else."
Yep.
And then he looked at me, and I was like, "Leave her alone. Wait your turn." And everyone in the line was so uncomfortable, right? Because
with his car outside, still running unlocked, probably illegally parked.
Because some lazy Joe sitting on his duff at home picked up his phone and made an order. The rest of us who actually were there are treated like second class. Yeah. Now, that said, when I'm waiting for my Skip the Dishes order, I need that stuff fast.
Yeah.
So I get, but the guy was so indignant about it. Like, oh, I got to wait. It's like, oh, you got to wait? I don't know. I don't Skip the Dishes. I don't know. It's probably ruined the restaurant industry forever in some way.
I think so. Well,
yeah,
I'm too cheap for it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I am too.
Well, is there the delivery fee
and DoorDash?
Yeah,
DoorDash. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And during COVID. In California, it was $650 a month. I think is what it was.
Yeah,
I think it was $650 a month, or no, $650 every 2 weeks.
Well, that's with conversion. That's about what we were given.
Yeah, $650 every 2 weeks is what it was. But I didn't miss I think I missed 2 days, and then I went straight back to work full time because I was on a hospital job, and construction at a hospital job can't stop. So
yeah,
and so I didn't miss no work during COVID at all.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jamie the cleaner here is confusing pro wrestling with being a welder because he was a welder before detailing.
Was he good at welding? Probably not. Hey, it's probably pretty ugly.
I don't think he was stacking dimes. It was probably a little more messy than that.
I saw a funny reel today of some guy at a playground, and he was like, "Check out these welds," and it was like bubbly cancer or something. That's probably how Jamie welds.
Yeah,
because
Louisiana's finest.
Yeah.
I'm a welding inspector. It's one of the things that I do out here. I do rebar inspections, concrete placement, masonry, welding inspection, fire, proofing. That's about it usually out here. About all I do.
Concrete's incredibly expensive up here. I don't know if it's super expensive down there. But
what's that?
I bet California is on par with us.
Yeah, probably.
Well, the concrete drivers out here are the highest paid truck drivers in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Because the thing has to go around and around.
Well, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do work a lot, too. And the plants are open 24/7.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, they don't stop. I mean, I'm saying our construction's busy. And there was like last Saturday, one of the plants, they just did 8,000 yards. They started at 5 a.m. Saturday morning. They finished at 9 p.m. Sunday afternoon or Sunday night.
Wow.
Neil White says, "Y'all still alive?" Yeah, we're still alive.
Well, there was a guy down the street from me that just had a new driveway poured, like a concrete driveway poured. I'm like,
rich guy.
Yeah, I'm like, That's quite a bit of money. That's
One truckload
just sits outside.
One full truck is about $2,000.
Well, what did Gullicher pay for his driveway? I remember it wasn't included when he bought his house, or I don't know if he had it. He said he would do it himself, but it probably has doubled since then.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
because COVID. So everything doubles because of COVID.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah, driveways. The standard driveway, Neil's saying about $20K. I'd say that's a good deal here.
Rick, that's funny when you say that it was double, because I saw an old Tim Hortons commercial the other day where they had a big sign that says their big chili was $3.59 and now it's like $7.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, the classic bread bowl chili.
Reheated right out of the frozen packet it came in from some factory. Yeah.
And their baker was a glorified microwaver.
So what is Jamie on about? Was he really wrestling?
It was literally welding
during the
day
and training at night. It was
interesting.
Brutal.
No, yeah, Jamie did. He did train to be a wrestler. Yes, he did.
I had no idea. He doesn't tell me anything.
He did.
Yeah.
Alex, how did you not know this?
I don't know. I thought Jamie and I were friends, but apparently not.
No,
well, he could turn on you.
Yeah, no kidding.
He could suplex you.
Yeah.
Any moment.
Oh, got to sleep with one eye open now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the pills he was taking were blue.
So some people don't have concrete driveways. Like I guess people do asphalt, right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot. I've seen some asphalt ones.
Can't do that.
No.
The downfall with asphalt is when it's hot outside.
Yeah.
When asphalt gets hot again and you drive on it, it will.
Driveway's gonna look like a golf ball.
It will do this.
Yeah.
Cement and concrete are the same thing. Cement is actually just powder. That's all cement is. Concrete is cement, sand, and rock, and water. So the cement's actually just powder. Is all it is.
I always call them one and the same.
Cement is actually it's actually part of earth. It's mined, and so cement, it gets quarried out, and you take cement, you put it with sand, gravel, water. Once water is activated with cement, it's a part of heat of hydration. It hardens after time, and that's how it dries.
Interesting.
You sound like you know a thing or two.
Yeah, we're getting a lesson. I love it.
Yeah.
Problem I've never seen asphalt driveways up here. The freeze thaw would kill them.
Be a cracking mess.
You'd be redoing it all the time.
But I know on the East Coast they have a lot of them. Like in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, they have a lot of asphalt driveways.
Yeah, not something you see in Alberta very often. No. And I know when I go to buy my sealer, if you go online, a lot of the sealers are for asphalt, and it's like, no, I don't need that. I need concrete sealer.
Mm-hmm.
I love sealer, Mike.
Yeah. So the one good thing about sealer, though, you really gotta clean it to reseal it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Why is that?
Because the sealer, when it bonds, if you don't clean it, it's not gonna bond.
Yeah, and I think I blew it last time. I think I sealed too quickly. I don't think it was completely dry. I did a pressure wash, and I do have like a milkiness to my driveway now. I'm not proud of it.
You have like exposed aggregate.
That's what I have.
Look, you really, really got to clean that really, really well before you put on a new sealer. They have a thing at Home Depot you can buy. I can't see if I know where it's at. You can put it on your pressure washer, but you need a really high pressure washer. It's circular and it spins. And
I have that. An attachment, you mean, right?
Yeah, it's an attachment, but you need a really high pressure washer to do that. Like a 4
I have a high pressure one. I'm going to do that.
You need a 4 or 5 gallon pressure washer for that to really be effective.
Yeah, my driveway is exposed aggregate concrete.
Yeah. Okay. So to clean it, you need a really high pressure washer.
Yeah. Well, I've got an AR-630. What more can I want?
How many gallons per minute are you putting out on that though?
Almost 2.
Yeah, but see, that's not high pressure.
No, well, you asked me how much water I'm putting out.
I know. I just said you need like 4 or 5 gallons per minute. And you said 2. I'm saying
Yeah.
You can't.
You need 4 or 5 gallons
Pressure
per
washer has 4 or 5. I have to hire someone. That would cut right through my cement.
I bought this open box Craftsman ones at Home Depot for like $100 something bucks. It's like, what's this? It's 4.4 gallons per minute.
Yeah, the gas ones.
It is a gas one.
You have to rent one.
Yeah, you can rent one for the day.
I'll just keep doing it the way I do it. I'm not renting no gas. But exposed aggregate. When we moved in, I didn't know much about concrete driveways at all. I came and it looked like swept concrete, like just regular.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the show home place where the lady that worked in our neighborhood, like the builder, and I was like, I thought I would get an aggregate. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'll look into it. And I'm like, it's not aggregate. But the next day they came out and blew off.
Yeah, the next day.
Top layer. Yeah. God, did I feel like an idiot.
It's always the next day. Yes, so what they do is they'll put like some sugar water, spray it right on top of it, so the top part doesn't cure, and then the next day they come out and spray it off because sugar has a chemical reaction to it, so that part doesn't cure.
Ken's right. So with an exposed aggregate, if you were using something really high pressure, you would lose a few of the rocks.
Not really.
Okay, calling you a liar, Ken. No, I think if you really sat there,
if you sit there,
Which why would you do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, God.
that'd be quite the foam show. I'll tell you that much.
All right. Well, it looks like my family's back. Not that I was using you guys to keep me entertained while my family was gone, but the important people are home, and I want to hear how the practice went.
Hopefully it went well. Hopefully your child is hydrated.
If you ever pour concrete, you never want it to cure. You put sugar in it.
Interesting.
Put sugar in the concrete.
Yeah.
My dog would be licking it.
That would be bad.
Yep.
Well, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I enjoyed our chats.
Lots of fun.
Longest live stream.
We'll see how many subscribers I lost. I'll let you know tomorrow. Probably double digits.
All good. We'll get those back. Don't you worry.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Take care. Yep.
Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Stay rad.
We'll see you next time, Rick, whenever that next time is.
You betcha. And thanks for coming in, Ox.
If not, we'll get Alex and Jimmy on the next show.
All right. Take care.
See you guys later.